Top 20 mid-risk diversified cryptocurrencies with the potential to 200x plus. Also, cryptos right now are at their lowest that we have seen throughout this bear market. Is this a time to buy, or is a recession coming that is going to actually make today's prices look quite expensive? All of this and more coming up in today's episode. Coming in 3, 2, 1. If I could turn back time, da-da. If I could sell the top, da-da. Would you like to learn my top 20 mid-risk diversified altcoins with the potential to 200x plus? Turn $1,000 into $200,000 plus with these cryptocurrencies. All of this and more coming up in today's video. Here with me, the Suppoman, your superhero of 100 to 1000x cryptocurrencies. All of these cryptocurrencies were identified as opportunities with rock bottom, bulletproof price entry points. Most of these were either very early stage, like Cardano, like Solana, like Quant, like Hex, or they were pre-sales. So what I am going to be uncovering today is the opportunity to get into early opportunities, i.e. they are prices that don't reflect a cryptocurrency's actual quality. So I'm going to be presenting these 20 cryptocurrencies across a diverse mix of narratives. Narratives which I believe are going to be at the forefront of the next market, the next bull market. So if you are wanting to be absolutely in the know with the best altcoin suggestions, with the #1 quantitative analyst of cryptocurrencies, then make sure that you smash a like right now on this video. It actually takes not very much effort. All you have to do is just tap it, and then animate in front of you that graphic specifically to make it attractive for you to subscribe. Also, well, to like, and also make sure that you subscribe so you are in the know. Also, in the description, you will be able to learn what are my DCA entries by joining the Cryptocurrency Investment Course 2023. That provides you with 18 hours of a full course that teaches you cryptocurrencies, teaches you how to analyze cryptocurrencies fundamentally, and be able to make incredible gains for yourself, teaching you how to fish, but also giving you entry to my DCA Telegram group, so you find out in real time what I'm DCAing into. And if you're in that group, you will know what I have been DCAing into. We have got strong cryptocurrencies presently at their lowest throughout this bear market. So you will be seeing exactly what I am buying, how much, what exchange, etc. So, with that out of the way, what I'm also going to be doing is I am going to be looking into the economy. I am going to be letting you know, is now the time you should be buying? Should you be buying these dips? Avalanche was once upon a time $150. Now it is under $10. Solana was once upon a time $260. Now $20. And that these stories are all over the place. Near Protocol was $30 once upon a time. Now $1. And loads of stories. So should you be buying now? Should you be DCAing now? What is the economy looking like? That's what I'm going to be talking about. So with that in mind, I'm now going to do what I always do, which is to talk to you guys first of all. Say hi to you guys that have joined the chat. And if you're watching this on playback, then just fast forward about 2 minutes. Okay, if you really don't want to see it. Otherwise, make sure you're here next time so I can say hi to you. So, make sure that you smash that like. Only 79 likes. There's 227 of you. It's a little effort. It's a little effort. Look, it's as simple as... You're watching me anyway. Anyway, so who have we got in the house? So we have got... Oh, whoops. Oh, we have got Patrick, Robert, Demuth, Julian, Christian Torres, Intense Gamer, Leonardo, Proud and Real, Red for Danger, Gabriel Itodo, STR, Crypto 7, Reverend Flashback, Official I Am the One. I love that. Taras, EG Clipped You, GHL, good to see you. Rita, Big Boss Razza, Angry Jack, Leonardo SA, Crypto Tainer, Shah Iyar Khan, Herco, Gabrielle, Padraig, what a name. Cresho, Divya, Yasmin, Ellen, Lindsay. Oh my god, what the hell happened there? YouTube just tried to send me all around the houses. Antonio, Ahmed, Andy, Dijan, Dan. God, it's like alphabetical order here. Edvenus, Canna Startup, Wanye West, NH, Semi Turnpike, good to see you. Deliliu, good to see you too. Austin, Cash, Nick Naev, John, Lampist, Jacques. Float Like a Feather, Raymond, Pav, Tommy, OG Herrera, Lindsay Clark, good to see you. Agent Hex, Tufan, Angie, Hurricane Hicks, Harry, Merlin, I think that is, Angkor Tan, Julian, Vince, David, Crypto Frog, Asi, Igor, Matovu, DJ Ventures, A Grissom. I appreciate it. Super is the best in crypto influencers. I appreciate that. Tavita, another Ellie, Eva, good to see you. NH, Vince, Sammy Turnpike, thank you very much for the $5 super chat from Sammy Turnpike. Thank you very much. I love it. Really appreciate that. I would do the I would do the screens, the clips, but I can't. Well, I can in severe circumstances. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. Philip, Sebastiano, Alan, Young G, Isaac, Javier, Mac Will, Trades88, Arjun, Isaac, Cryptomist, Brian B, Georgios, Rami, Ash, Nicholas, Jones R, 3D Shorts, K12, Suresh Reddy, Ahmed, Carl, CT, I'm getting there, Michael Tickley, nice, Jesus, I attract the best, believe me, Ghost, Rory, Jamshid, Arash, DeBest, Luke Anthony, NC Bims, Joros, OX, Bertie J, Deddy, Grandpa Rock, OJ, William Williams, Imran, Easy Q. Lovely to see you guys. So many of you already. Beautiful. Right, okay, people. So I will get to your questions eventually. So let's have a look and see what has happened in the week in review. Well, not really, because that's boring. But if you've been following me on Twitter, then you will see this piece of news came out the other day when cryptos were massively dipping. Grayscale's court win over the SEC lifts hopes for a Bitcoin ETF approval. This news came out. Bitcoin shot from 26,000 exactly to near 28,000. And then, next day, boom, back down to 27. Next day after that, back down to 26. Retraced the whole move. Why? Because people are gullible. Gullible. Oh, an ETF's going to be granted, Suppoman. Why aren't you bullish? Because it's not going to happen this year. Get it in your skulls. There is a game to be played, a timeline to be stuck to, and at this present moment, this is not the time for any ETFs to be granted. Why? Because ETFs are going to solidify the longevity of the centralized banking system. Did you really think that cryptocurrency was going to do away with all the banks? No. The ETF is going to let them right back in it. They are going to have custody, or they're going to appoint someone to custodize the Bitcoins or whatever, Ethereum or whatever strong assets they buy, and they are going to have their hand well and truly in the whatever, soup, porridge, the pie. They are going to be controlling everything. This is that pivotal point where centralized banks are going to solidify that they continue on as a force, and they control cryptocurrency, they control the success of cryptocurrency, and people don't care because they're going to be making gains. So the wheel turns, nothing changes, it's going to be the same again. There's not going to be any doing away with the banking system, not yet. Anyway, you've got to be patient. But whatever the case, all the pieces need to be put in the right place in order for an ETF to be granted, because the ETF is going to be the catalyst. It's going to be what drives the crypto market back up to all-time highs, which is going to be exacerbated and accompanied by the economy being in a stronger position. But right now, everything's going down, everything's plummeting, confidence is plummeting, the whole crypto space needs to be put into a position where the ETF is granted and the major powers are happy. Not we're happy, the major powers are happy. So that's why the big wallets are not buying it. The big addresses are not buying into Bitcoin, into crypto just yet, because time isn't right just yet. And if you're watching me, this finally should get into your bloody head. And most people are not watching me, and it's getting on my nerves, because I'm posting stuff on Twitter, and people are like, oh, Suppo, why aren't you considering this? And it's like, are you even watching? Are you even in the know? Or are you listening to these stupid meme boys that have absolutely no idea? They're positive because hopium sells. People love it. The amount of times that I have seen George, cryptos are us, everything will make Bitcoin go up is, oh, this reason will make Bitcoin go up. How many times over a 1.5 year basis can you say the same thing and people still listen? It makes zero sense to me. But that's just the way that it is. Anyway, Moving on. So let's look at the economy. So joblessness or unemployment has now risen to 3.8%. This is having been at 3.5, 3.3. Now it's gone to 3.8. Now we're beginning to see some semblance of the market kind of showing signs of a recession is coming, a recession is imminent, and joblessness is something that Jerome Powell has been talking about in every single FOMC meeting. He has been saying that needs to go up in order to stabilize prices, in order to make inflation go down. So it's finally happening, right? But not without the detriment of going into a recession. So not only is that happening, but also wage growth is cooling. Okay, so what that means is that businesses aren't able to pay their employees as much as the cost of goods and services are going up. So people are not able to, their wages are not matching inflation, right? So wage growth is cooling, and the reason why is because companies don't have enough money. The cost of goods and services for a company in order to do their normal day-to-day business, in order to maintain the business, cost of machinery, labor, rent costs, everything, right, is already too high for them, that they can't actually pay people more. And that means that people will get upset, people will moan, people will get depressed, people will want to leave their jobs. So everything is beginning to plummet. And this is also very important data, and I want to make sure you are all too aware of it. The amount of employees is plummeting. The amount of employees currently recruited to do a job is plummeting, and plummeting to the extent that we are probably going to be going into a recession. So we've got this grey line that is running across these zigzag blue lines. The blue lines is actually the employment rate, as it were. And what happens is that when the amount of payroll, non-farm payrolls, people in employment, starts to decline below the line, we go into a recession. Every time it's happened, we go into a recession. Look, it goes down, recession, 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 goes down, recession. And now we are in the decline and about to go down below that grey line again. A recession is coming, whether you like it or not. Now, or at least I believe it is. Now, another argument that people say is, we're already in a recession. The damage is done. We're going to recover. Right? Okay, let me show you this. All right? This is the last recession. The last proper recession. Not talking about COVID. We're talking the last proper recession that happened in 2008. Okay? So, there was this article on the 1st of December 2008, which said, it's official. Recession since last December. Recession since December 2007. So we were already, the US were already a year into a recession before they actually announced it. Now let's have a look and see what happened with the price action of the S&P 500, the major stocks essentially. What we saw was a recession was entered at this point here. Look, when we were at 1521, right? And the market didn't really necessarily reflect that. The recession was announced a year later. And when the recession was announced, big drop. The recession is announced, big drop in the S&P value. So it halved. It went from 1,500 down to 738, and then ultimately 3 months later bottomed to 669. So when the recession is announced, that is the point that we see the turbulence. When the recession is announced, that is where we are beginning to see the beginnings of a bottom forming that hasn't happened. That's where the damage comes in. All right, so we entered into a recession. US entered into a recession in 2007. Everything was kind of all fine until there was a dramatic drop. It's not even been announced yet. And it's very, very likely that this is what's going to happen in quarter 4, 2023, or quarter 1, 2024, which is the announced recession. And before that time, the stocks will plummet, and then the stocks will bottom after a recession is announced. So if we have a look and see the percentage drop. So when actually the US entered into a recession, the drop to the point at which the recession was announced was 51%. The drop to the point that the bottom came in was 57%. A 57% drop in the stock market. That is a gradual decline, breaching the base support, and an even bigger, a first bottom and then a second bottom. Let's fast forward to where we are today. Where we are today is, oh, look at that. Look, it's near the top. It's near the top. There was a decline, but we're now near the top. The stock market is not reflecting the economy. The economy is going down. I brought you in the last stream. Banks are going down. Banks are going to be the epicenter of the recession. And now we are having unemployment that is showing signs of we are now deepening into a recession. It's definitely going to be happening if it hasn't already happened. The US was in a technical recession as of August 29, 2022. But there's been no admittance of it. And the fact is that the stock market doesn't even show it either. Look, this is almost as encouraging as how jobs were going. Jobs kept falling and the unemployment rate kept falling despite the fact that the economy was poor, the interest rates was rising at a faster rate than ever, and this is what has been happening. So the stock market is not reflecting, and this means it's almost like a person that has been awake for 48 hours, they're drinking Red Bull after Red Bull, they're keeping themselves awake, but eventually they are going to crash hard. They're going to faint, they're going to fall slap bang on the floor, face first, smash their face open. That's what's going to happen. And that is not reflected at this point in the stock market and not so deeply in the crypto market. Obviously, altcoins are going down, but Bitcoin, well, Bitcoin is still well above the bottom of 15,500. It's well above that bottom. It's done what stocks has done. There was a decline, and now it's gone up again. And we're not even in an announced recession. And as we saw in the S&P 500 graph I just showed you, an announced recession is really where we see approaching the bottom. Approaching the bottom. And that is not approaching the bottom. This looked like it was, but there we are, people. So I can't understand why people think that we can have a bull market when the economy is in such disarray. It's in an absolutely terrible state. How can there be a bull market? There can't be, right? There won't be. There won't be an ETF decision either. Because the people who are applying for ETFs are going to be wanting a very, very solid first bull cycle performance. A first bull cycle period performance where they're going to be wanting to say to their clients, look, we got our early investors, our early ETF customers into an ETF. They got into Bitcoin at, let's say, 12 to 14,000. Bitcoin went up to 100,000. They made a 10x. You should have been in this. And they'll use that as a selling ploy to get more people to buy their ETF on the stock market. And this is going to be reflected across BlackRock, Fidelity, Valkyrie, ARK, Grayscale, all the ETFs. They're going to be all wanting a very strong performance. And the only way you're going to get a strong performance is if we hit a bottom. The ETF actually gets granted after all of the economic turmoil has been experienced. And we're just not there yet. Until that happens, I'm not making my major buys. And the ETFs are definitely not going to be granted. All right, now, fast forward to next year, fast forward to maybe February, March time, then we may be seeing, in my opinion, the increased likelihood of a recession because 6 months will have passed. We'll hopefully have seen worse happening. But until then, it's just a waiting game, pure waiting game. So you just have to wait. You just got to wait. So all the people say, Suppo, when's the recession? When do you expect the bottom? It's going to happen. It's just, I don't know when, but it's going to happen. You just got to wait for the pieces to kind of fall. So that is the state of play in the economy. And as you can see, it's a pretty languid, depressing state of affairs. And I don't even think we're seeing the bottom yet. And that's why I believe, my optimal buy prices are, they're optimistic actually. And actually worst case prices are really the order of play. So let me just show you this. So now you will see that my worst case prices, my worst case is now my new optimal buy-ins in most instances. Right, I've put this in my DCA Telegram group if you're wanting to have it in totality. But just to show you, and what I've highlighted in green is what has recently hit its bottom, and basically over half have recently hit their actual bottom, right? And look at the proximity to minimal. If you have been following me since I made this on Twitch back in September, October last year, you would have seen we were nowhere near any of these as a minimal. Nowhere near any of them. And now, over half are in now in minimal territory. And Hex, which I remember when I was saying my minimal is 1 cent, and this was when Hex was about anything from 4 to 10 cents or 13 cents, and people were saying, Suppo, your 1 cent's never going to come. I didn't buy any Hex until it went back to the 1 cent area. And then I still didn't buy, and then I did buy into 0.007 I started buying. But the point I'm trying to make is look how much this has now gone into minimal, despite, and even optimal, despite how much people were saying, and these are hexagons as well. Yeah, people who really should know better, actually are in the community, should really know that, you know, the whole Pulse chain thing was a buy the rumor, sell the news event. Even they didn't see it coming. We not only plummeted well below 1 cent, but we are 440% over minimal price, 322% over optimal buy price. Ridiculous. So anyway, there we are. So carrying on. So as you can see, quite a lot now have now either hit optimal or very close to optimal. Hence why I've had to rejig the figures, because actually optimal was meant to be 12 to 14k Bitcoin. We're still on 25k Bitcoin and well over optimals in some instances. So, and actually in 3 instances of all the coins on here, in 3 instances are actually close to or over worst case prices. So what I love about this spreadsheet is that it actually crystallizes, because I did this a year ago, it crystallizes that something terminal would have had to have gone wrong with the actual project, and therefore if you don't enter in and wait for prices to approach minimal, optimal or worst, then you'll actually see, well, it was a good idea not to have invested so early because things have happened with projects, i.e. Hex, you know, i.e. the whole SEC thing. So we're paint by numbers now. There's very few that are actually not in about 70% at least, 75% at least of minimal. So there we are. What can I say? What can I say? And people thought that these minimals, optimals, worst cases were ridiculous once upon a time. And we're not even at 12 to 14k Bitcoin, and yet we are starting to see even worse case prices. As far as looking at where are my DCAs versus the all-time high, this is looking pretty good. In some instances, it's not. So obviously, SWI, GMX, Aptos, even DogeChain, a lot of these are nowhere near their all-time. Like if it was to multiply to their all-time high tomorrow, then basically you make fuck all gains, really. But this is a reflection of their how soon they've come out. So as you see, Moonbeam came out January 2022. So that had some remnants of the last bull market, some remnants of the bullishness that drove up to the all-time high of $30. So it's not necessarily that the ones at the bottom are shit cryptocurrencies. It's that they're new. They're very, very new. And actually, in a lot of cases, they're very, very solid too, which means they haven't gone down super much. But yeah, but I am still expecting very, very good gains, even for the ones at the bottom of this list. But you can see that where I'm DCAing actually is so far down from the all-time high. And that's not even looking at today's prices. You know, Moonbeam today is like closer to 18 cents. Hex is cheaper. Sunday Swap is, I think, a bit cheaper. 0.008. Moon River has been cheaper. It was nearly $3 yesterday. Evermoss like 5.5 cents. So, you know, just from where I bought in, you can see that the gains to get to its all-time high are significant. But I do expect for most of these assets to at least halve before the worst is over. So, still a long way to go. Still a long way to go, which means that, you know, this is just painting a very bad picture for altcoins. But anyway, if you're in my DCA mastermind group, then you will see that I've given a lot of my thoughts on where I think the future of crypto is going, what I see happening before the worst is over. And it does look very bad. And you'll see why in there. But I won't go into it on this stream. So let's now turn over to you guys, see what you guys are saying. Andy V, thank you very much for the $10. I appreciate that muchly. Was there a question, Andy, of the V variety? Can't see one. But I assume that was just out of generosity. In which case, Monaco Karma. So let's see what you guys have got to say. Weekend review sounds like Coin Bureau. Yeah, exactly. That's why I would never do it, because that stuff bores me, to be honest. Troy Stein, thank you very much. Suppo, Aptos or Sui all in one? If I had to go all in one, I would go in Sui, but not yet. Obviously, I would have to wait. I'd have to wait until the asset reflects a bear market, and B, it's, pretty catastrophic inflation going into the next bull market. And right now, 40 something cents for Sui. What is Sui right now? I've just gone right past it. Yeah, 48 cents. Yeah, that's not low enough. From a market cap perspective, you probably think, 385 million, that's fair game. That's actually amazing. But if you dig into it, it's actually a 4 billion market cap, fully diluted, and a lot of it is going to be diluted during the bear market, not all a bull market, not all of it, but a lot of it is going to be. So really, what you're dealing with is at least $2 billion asset here. So I would be looking for a bigger decline in its price, hence looking for kind of 25 cents, I would say. But Sui, I think, is certainly the most promising, I believe. It's the newest, and I think that it's possibly going to be the one that attracts the developers. So I know that a bunch of developers have already migrated to Sui, to Aptos, to Nia, that were previously, with Ethereum. So a market share of developers is going to these top blockchains, which is paving the way for the ecosystem for the bull market. So Sui, I just think, is more favorable, and I think that's going to be the one over Aptos, because I think a lot of negative stuff was said about Aptos at the beginning. I follow BitBoy. He's the only one that has good values in cryptos. Lol, not. Don't get me wrong. Okay, so I have been on BitBoy's show. I'm not going to put him down, because that's not really that's not really what I do to people who who I have had relationships with, business relationships with. So I'm not going to put him down. But what I will say is that I don't believe this is at face value what is happening. All right. So the narrative is that BitBoy has been pushed out of his own channel by the Bit Squad or whatever, because of relapse into drug taking or whatever, which BitBoy then turned around and said it's diet pills. He hasn't relapsed into Class A drugs or whatever. But what happened with BitBoy, I would say, is very similar to what happened with me in 2018. If you are a long time watcher, then in 2018, I got the bear market so wrong. I was a permabull in the last bear market. Every time the prices were going down, I was like a crypto rover, and I was saying, we've bottomed, it didn't bottom. We've bottomed, we didn't bottom. And people just got wrecked, including me to a major scale. So I did a apology video myself. And, you know, I think that BitBoy has been really, I think, perceived as a villain in the crypto space. I think that people look at him negatively. You know, they would look at Coin Bureau as, let's say, a hero, and they would look at BitBoy as a villain. They would look at Coin Bureau as, he is the example, he's the one that, you know, is the biggest channel, he's super popular, super trusted, and BitBoy's the opposite, essentially. He's not popular, he's infamous, and he's also looked at disfavourably, untrustworthily, and I think this is a marketing ploy, if I'm honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if Ben either comes back, regains the channel, and everybody loves him again, or he starts up his own channel, gets super popular, and people love him because of how earnest he has been and vulnerable he has been in this whole period, right? That's what I think's happened, because the BitBoy channel has essentially, started to go down in terms of viewers and popularity, and they get a lot of hate for the way in which BitBoy was pushed out. And so if BitBoy comes back, it will resume. Everybody will be happy. They'll love him again because he's come back from adversity. So I think this is all a marketing ploy, basically. I don't believe a word of what's going. I don't believe at face value that this is what's going on, what's said to be going on, and what every crypto channel has been reporting on is the truth. So this whole dramatic episode has inspired pretty much all the major crypto channels to talk about BitBoy, which is exactly what he wanted. Exactly what he wanted. Because what it comes down to is it's BitBoy versus Coin Bureau. That's what it boils down to for BitBoy. I know it because when I did my apology video in 2018, I was the top channel back then. And I really had a lot of hate at that time. And I needed to shed that away in order to be able to prosper again. And it never really actually happened. And what had to happen was my channel got deleted and I restarted a new channel. And now this channel's way better. You guys are way better than the community I had previously. Well, the bad eggs in the community. So this is a marketing ploy. In my opinion, this is a marketing ploy. And I don't believe a word of it. And I don't think this is the last of him. And I think he's going to come back. And actually, people are going to watch more because everybody reported on this. So a lot of focus went to BitBoy, where the market share of crypto YouTube is like being spread out across all the major channels. So how does BitBoy become the biggest channel again? A marketing ploy. So I don't believe it for a second, but that's my own opinion. See, this is what I mean. I haven't watched BitBoy in over a year. He's a cancer on crypto. This is exactly why I believe he needed to kind of reinvent himself, or at least start to reinvent himself and shed, the past, shed it off him spiritually, and just come back refreshed, come back loved. I think that's what the whole intention is. Miswa, good to see you. Acknowledge me. There you go. Marcin22M, yo everybody, my first chat. Good to have you in the chat club. Safa, good to see you. Hey, Sue, were you bullish on ordinals? Yeah, I am.
Okay, I found this on the web for Prussian ordinals, yeah. Check it out.
What? Fuck off, Siri. I don't give a shit for what you've got to say. Hey, Sue, yeah, are you bullish on ordinals? Yeah, I am. I think it could be a narrative of the next cycle, so it's worth having. A little bit like how NFTs was the narrative. Yeah, Ethereum-based NFTs were the narrative in the last bull market. Yeah, we're probably going to see a repeat of Ethereum NFTs, but it's been done. It's had its first hype cycle. So I think Bitcoin ordinals, I think that could have its first hype cycle. Super, what's your best DCA? What's your best strategy for DCAing? A purchase per week, per month, No, basically, it's when you see some resemblance of crypto starting to look like optimal buys. That's when DCAs happen. Super, to catch bottom prices, any chance you get a new and me video for best practices, yada, yada, yada. Look, there's no way of timing the bottom. There's no way, right? All you have to do is just kind of have in your mind, and this is why I did the optimal buy-ins, minimal and optimal buy-ins, because you're never going to catch the bottom, but you've got to kind of put money in at a point where the asset is significantly down, from where it was, and I formed this list a third of the way probably a quarter of the way through the bear market, right? Having a massive allowance for drops, a 75% to 80% drawdown from the prices as they were a year ago. And now we're hitting those exact 75. And yet Bitcoin has not gone down. So it's very difficult to see where the bottom will lie. So really all you can do is kind of keep adjusting as you go down based on where you see a blow off bottom for Bitcoin, which is the key asset at the end of the day. So that's all I could really say as far as best practices is concerned. Hey Steve, I see you still bullish in the future with Zen. Yeah, I mean, I think that once Zen essentially stops mining, it's up. It's super turbo up from there, because they'll be burning. So they'll have mined a shit ton, obviously, minted a shit ton through this whole game theory process that Jack Levin, I think geniusly put together to get a ton of hodlers into Zen. And then once it's like reached a critical mass, then there's going to be that's going to be the end of minting and then the beginning of burning. And then that's where you're going to probably start seeing tremendous upside potential. So it's going to be a lot like Lunar Classic. So if you remember Lunar Classic, they kept on minting until they stopped minting. And then from that point, it did a 400x almost instantaneously. And I know because I bought the bottom. And made a terrific profit out of it. That's not reflected in here. Hold on a minute. Yeah, once they stopped minting, it just absolutely blew the roof off. It went lower than this. It was like 5 zeros, and then it went 3 zeros, just like that. So it just absolutely exploded. And that's what's happening with Zen. Basically, once they turn off the printing machine, and then they start burning them out of circulation, then you're going to see tremendous upside. So the point is catching it. That's really what it boils down to. How are you physically? Says Tom Schlanders. Well, what's got to be said?
How was the car physically and the tire physically? And how are you physically?
I fucking love that. Thank you very much for the $2.99, Tom. Right, okay, so let's move on. Let's move on to the top 20 coins. Let me just take on a couple more. Super, why don't you care about that much about token inflation? Do you listen to what I say? Like, of course I fucking care. Like, if I didn't care, then I wouldn't factor it into my buying process, would I? Like, if I didn't care about inflation, I'd have said buy SWE at $1.30. What kind of question is that? Like, if you have a look at my all-ins, you can see pretty much I factored in inflation, Optimism, Aptos, SWE, Arbitrum, high inflationary coins. I do care about inflation. But inflation only matters in a bear market. That's why I'm using these figures as a way of being able to get, Swede down rock bottom, and hopefully optimism and Arbitrum as well, because Arbitrum at this point is extremely expensive, I personally think. But you've got to have exposure to them, because they're going to be part of the narrative. In the last bull market, it was Solana, AVAX, Luna. They all ripped the fucking charts apart, and they were their first hype cycles for those coins. So now it's the hype cycles going to be coming for new coins, better technology, etc. Hence those coins. But I will, being honest, they have got quite brutal inflation, but I'm going to use those as a way of being able to get them as cheap as possible, really, and being patient and wait. Right, okay. Empata Virus, Suppo, I have missed you. You are the best. Thank you very much. I appreciate that you are part of the best community in cryptocurrency, without a doubt. Right, okay, so what is the context behind this? If you've not watched my videos previously, to explain these ones, which were my lower risk, right? Today we're going to go on mid-risk. If you want to know the backstory behind this, essentially it comes from this here, which is what were the best performing altcoins in the last bull market and why? All right, why? So I did a sample of 150 cryptocurrencies and looked at the qualities. I looked at what were the multipliers, and I looked at, based on how high the multiplier was, what were the qualities that drove them to it. And essentially what it came down to is being in their first hype cycle, so never been exposed to a bull market previously, that they were quite low in terms of ranking, not super low, like out of 26,000 cryptocurrencies, I'm not talking about rank 20,000th, I'm talking about within visibility of the investing public. So quite far down, so therefore having a good trajectory up. What was the narrative? So was it a narrative that drove it? And you will see that there is evidence that yes, it was. And what was the price? And in pretty much every instance, save for a few, like a handful, every coin was under $1. So all of these coins were either fractions of a dollar, or just above a cent at least, but under $1. Anything over $1, they are few and far between. So you've got Kusama, you've got Quant, but most of them got zeros, lots of zeros. So so with this sample, it gives you supreme data, right? This is not the be all and end all, but this is data that at least gives you a basis on what's going to be the best performer next time. But something that definitely drove a lot of bullishness, speculation, and therefore massive multipliers is what narrative was it part of? Was it easily understood within that narrative? And DeFi was a massive narrative last bull run, as was Metaverse, as was meme, as was gaming. Layer 2 slightly as well. NFTs, etc. Right? So knowing in advance what is likely to drive adoption next time is going to set you up for what you should buy during this bottoming period. And some narratives you will not know. They will only come up when they come up. It won't look obvious until it's here. And then you've just got to be fast, right? But with ones that are going to be prevalent in the next market, you can make an educated guess of what is the best asset to buy within that narrative. What is something that isn't necessarily aged, that has got zeros, yada, 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 right? So, I therefore, because that was the last hype cycle, so I don't really want to be touching many of these. There is definitely still room for growth. For instance, Cardano, which is on this list. Cardano was a cryptocurrency, when I eventually find it. Cardano was a cryptocurrency that came out in 2017. It had a hype cycle. It went from, kind of 1 cent to $1. And then in the next market, it went from it went back to 2-3 cents and went back to $3. So you can get an aged coin if it's something where it's got longevity, it's got the right people into it, etc., etc. So it's not completely new, But what I have done is I've looked at all of the cryptocurrencies that have come out since the last bull market. These are going to be going into the next bull market that it's going to be their first hype cycle, right? So what I've done is I've gotten these coins and I thought, what is the best of them? And that is what forms narrative buys. So what I anticipate will be the 2024 to 2026 narratives will be AI, DeFi, aged layer ones, so the Ethereum killers, new layer ones, the Solana killers, proof of work layer ones, which is pretty much a new concept, really. It kind of started with Cadena, where you could have a fast transaction proof of work blockchain, and it has evolved from that point. Layer 2 big brands, NFTs, layer 0, DEX, meme, gaming, metaverse, game devs. So where gaming is a single title game, like Illuvium, like Mines of Delania, like Star Atlas, games devs are people who bring out arcade of games, bring out a suite of games. They are essentially like your modern day Epic Games, Riot Games, Activision, Rockstar Gaming, Capcom, all that lot, right? That's what this is. So that in itself is its own narrative because these have started to evolve too. Launchpad's DeSo storage, base blockchain, which is a new blockchain. And I dare say that in the first hype, the next bull market, certainly the first part of it, we are going to see a hype cycle for base blockchain decent cryptocurrency. So like with what happened with Binance Smart Chain, basically at the beginning of 2021, you saw some, because Binance Smart Chain came out around about latter stages 2020. It's just celebrated its 3rd birthday. And then when the bull market started, PancakeSwap did a 200x or something. So base blockchain is basically Binance Smart Chain of the next cycle. Cardano, similar. Identity and DAG. Identity is actually really beginning to become a narrative. WorldCoin kind of started it, and there are other cryptocurrencies now that are kind of, looking to, projects that are looking to be big in identity, decentralized identities, domains, all these things like Web3 identities, right? So Suppoman.eth or whatever, that kind of thing. All right, just before I go into that, I have had a few more super chats, so let me just address those. So, hey, Suba, you mentioned you will take all of your crypto profits and inject them into property. What's your process of getting your crypto into property? It was simple, really. I will literally get a exit price. So obviously I've got my optimals, which is my buy price. I'm going to have an exit price. So in most cases, I have some form of an exit price. This will be adjusted too based on actually where does the bottom go. But I've got, where the hell is it? It is over here, actually. Bull predictions, for instance, right? So these are my, kind of price targets for a sell. If they get hit, I sell. That's that. I sell. I have no conscience. I'm not like, oh, maybe this will do another 5x. Now, fuck that. I'm done hodling. Like, 2 bull to bear markets I've seen now. And I am not going to be suckered in to losing again. I did take out a lot more profits in the last bull market than I did the previous bull market. But having said that, it still wasn't a clean sweep like I said I was going to do. Get it all out. So I'm not going to get suckered in this time. So I am going to be selling profits. I'm going to be cashing out straight into cash, pay my capital gains, buy a property, down. That's how it's going to be. So it is quite simplistic, actually. No, whoops. Went back to the wrong screen. Narrative buys. Hey Sue, what are your thoughts on Galactic Quadrant? I've seen enormous evolution with it. Thank you very much for the €10, Victor. I don't really want to be taken off on a tangent, so I'll look at Galactic Quadrant later. But thank you very much. I will make sure I look at that. And I just got 49MX. I don't know quite what that is, but thank you very much, JCRs. I appreciate that. Victor Ventura Munoz, what is your estimated multiplier for Crypto GQ? I'm imagining that's the same question, Galactic Quadrant. It's not really factoring in. I'm not looking to buy that asset. It's already had a hype cycle. If it's Outer Ring, which I think you're talking about, then it's already had its hype cycle. What about Trias, Injective, Rio, Velo, blah, 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 blah. I fucking hate them all. They're all shit coins, except for Phantom from that list that you just mentioned. Right, okay, let's get started. No more messing. So, I'm going to start with AI first of all. And my mid-risk pick for AI is Bittensor. Bittensor is basically looking to be the Bitcoin of the AI space. So what Bittensor is they are looking to be a decentralized open network of data. They're looking to be a decentralized neural network. So where Bitcoin is a decentralized money network, where it leverages all of these miners in order to protect money, to generate more money into existence, Bittensor is looking to be a decentralized peer-to-peer data sharing, intelligence gathering supercomputer. Okay, so Bittensor is a decentralized supercomputer. So where you've got likes of Microsoft and Facebook and Amazon basically creating these enormous supercomputers in order to gather data, Bittensor is looking to leverage all the people in the Bittensor network, leverage all the computing power and all the data stored in these computers to create an overall neural network. It's a grandiose vision and arguably the Bitcoin of AI, right? So therefore, it can't be really more grand than that. If you look at their website, it doesn't seem to reflect that at all. But if you read the white paper, that is essentially what they're doing. They're incentivizing people to provide data, to provide intelligence to the Bittensor network, and then get rewarded for it. That's going to be essentially how it corresponds with Bitcoin, how it's kind of like Bitcoin. So Bittensor has been a very volatile asset. It's never gone, I don't think, below $30. And it kind of has done very wild swings of $30 to $100 down to $40. And, but personally speaking, I think that we're going to see the biggest drop in Bittensor when we get a bottoming event. And I will only buy into Bittensor if it goes to $15. If it doesn't, I won't bother. I do think Bittensor has a chance of going to about $1,000 in the next bull market. Potentially more. Particularly because it's an AI play that, in my opinion, is pretty under the radar. Not many people talk about Bittensor, know about Bittensor. So that's why I think it's not exploited a lot of its gains potential for the future. But I will only buy at $15 because, as I said, I'd like to go to cryptos that are under $1, that give you a lot of value for your money. So I'll only go to Bittensor if it's $15. But I do think that this cryptocurrency could do extremely well. There's so many people that are, the people that are in the Tau community. So Tau is basically the 3-letter acronym for the ticker for Bittensor. There's so many people there's so many. It's kind of like the Hexagons. Very, very loyal, very, very bullish community. And I don't think they've even really got up and running yet. So that's why I like this as an AI play a lot, but I'll only get it if it goes to that price, because that will unlock the gains potential. For DeFi, my pick is Hex. I thought I changed that. I think Hex actually probably belongs in high risk. But the reason it might go in mid-risk is simply because of its market cap. Like, it's already got a lot of people that know about it. It's got the Hexagon community, which is like 80,000 strong. In terms of like the Telegram group, the actual community. But in terms of hodlers, there's 500,000 hodlers of Hex, right? So Hex is very, very simple. Time-locked certificate of deposit. So it's time-locked rewards. The longer you delay gratification, so you essentially stake your Hex, and the longer you delay it, the more percentage you unlock for free, like up to about 40% in Hex. So it's simple DeFi. Like, it's not, and it's also a name that hasn't gone anywhere. Yes, granted. Right now, it has got its name is in mud because of Richard Hart and the SEC, but Hex is a known name. Many, many, many celebrities have spoken about Hex. People I follow have spoken about Hex. So that to me says it's a well-known brand. And considering that in DeFi, there's been a lot that have come and gone, and a lot that have actually been hacked. So Curve, Balancer, multiple DeFi protocols from what were the kind of founding fathers in DeFi. So Curve and Balance are like old names. They were around at the beginning in like mid 2020. And they have all suffered. The protocols have gone down. But Hex has not actually gone down as a protocol once. It's had no downtime. It's actually probably the most reliable DeFi out there. The only thing is it all depends on at what point you get in. Obviously, the higher you get in, the more you get wrecked. Therefore, really only get into this as it goes down. But I think that just like what happened with Grayscale, just like what happened with XRP, that there's either not going to be much of a case or there's going to be a fine paid or something. But either way, it's going to eventually disappear. Like, the narrative's going to go away. Richard Heart's going to be free from the SEC case, one way or another. And then Hex is going to be allowed to boom. And another reason why I'm buying Hex is because I almost think that there's some credibility in the SEC going after you. Right? And I say this because I think that the SEC wants to bring down assets on purpose. So if an asset is looking very, very strong, you know, it's almost like why would they go after Hex? Why Hex? You know? So that's the question I ask. Why Hex? Why would they target Hex? It's not had any downtime protocol-wise. It's sound. So the only thing they can destroy of Hex is Richard Heart. And he is the single point of failure, and this is the reason why PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex have all gone down, because being a single point of failure means that because he's being targeted by the SEC, everything goes down. But when everything goes, the point of failure is no longer a failure at that point. It then becomes something people will speculate on. And I'm hopeful that Hex will go down to 309, where it is right now is 2037. I want it to go down like another 4x, and then I think it's a very good place for an optimal buy and to take the risk on. It'll either, from that point, once again, it'll absolutely blow the roof off in gains, or it'll go to zero. But I'm willing to take that risk because Hex is a name, and it's, you know, I didn't really like Hex in the last bull market, even though I bought it and made 100x from it. I wasn't initially happy with it because of the people that were in it and the people that were promoting it and how it seemed like it was a big Ponzi scheme. But actually, I turned around totally on Hex, and I do think that this could have a resurgence, a second wind. It could have another hype cycle. Just have to wait and see. But that's why I'm buying Hex. Aged layer ones. The first one that I selected was Solana. And Solana was last cycle's Ethereum killer. And the layer one, which was looking to be an Ethereum killer in the last bull run and it had a decent rise, but the technology wasn't matured at that point, is Near. So Near has got incredibly high amounts of VC backing, VC money, VC influence. It looks like it's very, very strong in the accumulation phase. What I love about assets that are looking good for the future is they have a flat line. If an asset is going up or it's very volatile, that means that it could potentially just be hot for now. It's having its hype cycle during a bear market because the narrative has made it relevant. But what I like is a nice flat line. All right, I love the flat line. And that's what Near has basically been pretty much having. A flat line. It's been going down, but relatively flat. And it looks a lot like Matic of the last cycle. So Near, to me, looks like it's in just accumulation phase. Near although it was around in the last bull market, I don't think that its ecosystem was around. There was no ecosystem. It was a name, and that was it. Like, the technology wasn't well known. It wasn't widely spoken about. But Near, I think, in the next market is where it's going to make its impact and is going to essentially battle with Solana to be that Ethereum killer, to be that mainstay layer one. But it is aged, but it's 1,000 transactions per second, and it's very, very good, you know, technology with sharding technology, and their ecosystem has only really started to grow in kind of mid 2022. So the ecosystem hasn't been reflected in the price, and I think it will be in the next bull market. So Near, I very much like. Near, I liked when it was like $4. I liked it at $4. And now it's 1. The market cap has gone down so super tremendously. But still, I think that it's got way more to go down. So I'd like to see us go to about 60 cents before I take an optimal buy-in price. And in the last bull market, Near went to, I think, $20. Yeah, near $20.50 went to in the last bull market. And that was without any adoption at that point. It was just pure speculation. Next time it will be a little bit more like how Solana was in what I believe anyway. It'll be a little bit like how Solana was in the last cycle. An actual developer network, an ecosystem, dApps, etc. As far as new layer ones are concerned, I think you're going to all pretty much know this one. Solana killers. So Ethereum sparked off, okay, high gas fees, slow transaction processing. Right? So that sparked off Solana, Avalanche, Near at the beginning stages, Cardano at the beginning stages. But Solana was the king of Ethereum killers in the last cycle. And so Solana has moved on now. And now Solana is the one that is there to be beat. And that is the new layer ones. They are looking to be the Solana killers. They are the fast transaction, super turbo, quick blockchains with super small transaction fees. Like where Solana is like a few hundredths of a cent, these are like thousandths and millionths of a cent transact and super fast. So once these ecosystems get running, so obviously the next in is going to be Aptos, you know, and Aptos has a relatively high inflation rate moving into the next cycle. As a result of that, although it's kind of at $5 right now, I think that the price should reflect, well, obviously it will go down at least 50%, between now and the bottom of the market. And with inflation, with unlocks, with people having their tokens being given to them, and undoubtedly FUD articles. I mean, you're seeing Pepe, people are selling Pepe, Sui, the founders are selling Sui, and you're hearing that across other cryptocurrencies as well. That to me is just perfect. I love that. I want the founders to bloody sell. Just like, you know, how Ethereum actually sold quite recently. The Ethereum Foundation sold a shit ton of Ethereum. So I like it when that happens. That is prepping for a sell-off and therefore price to tank. So I've bought Aptos, a relatively high amount of Aptos, I will say, at $3.20, I think. Or $3.05, $3.20, around about that. And I am expecting it to go down lower. It may not look it right now, but I'm expecting it to go down lower with the factors I just mentioned to $1.80. Aptos has previously been $100. When it came out on Binance, went straight to $100. I saw it. I watched it live. Straight to 100 and straight down. So anyway, yeah. So Aptos, I think, although I don't necessarily think Aptos is going to go to it may or may not go that high again. I do think that there is a chance it could. I think $100 will be hit again, actually. And I do think that this, just like Sui, is going to try and do what Solana did and kind of go into the $100 club. We'll see. But Aptos, I would take a very strong buy at 180. I'm not sure it's going to go to $1. If it goes to $1, whatever stables I've got left. I mean, I've got a lot in stables. A lot. And I'm looking to keep, you know, a certain amount in stables for bull to bull. But if I have to, yeah, if it goes down a little bit lower, if it goes down to one, like if I bought it at 180 and it goes down to $1, then I'll buy. If it goes down to 150, I'll be like, that's fine. I've taken my optimal. Proof of work layer ones. We had Casper, and then we have got arguably the one that Casper is going to be battling with, Cardano. So Cardano is popular. A lot of people love Cardano, and Cardano went to $30 in the last market, and I only got to know about Cardano around about 85 cents. I didn't take a position in Cardano then, And to be honest, I'm quite happy I didn't, because I'm going to take a position in Cadena for the next market. Because proof of work layer ones, they are obviously out of the SEC spotlight. They're out of the firing squad target area. And so, proof of work layer ones, particularly ones with fast transactions, they're valuable, and it's a low competition area. Low competition, high speculation. Casper has got a lot of speculation lately. It's gone to $1 billion market cap. Cadena has kind of lost a lot of that because it made a lot of gains in its first hype cycle. But again, I think Cadena will come back next time as, again, another one of those very, very fast, scalable, decent security, proof of work layer ones. As far as layer 2 big brands are concerned, again, this is a pretty obvious one. In fact, I'll let you guys guess. Let's interact. Are you bullish on Jasmy? Sure, if it's legit. I hate Jasmy. Not interested in it at all. But thank you very much for the $6.99 Canadian dollars, I want to say. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's go crypto. Hello, Suppo fam. Great buys in September. Let's get it. Check out on-chain AI. Right, I'll put that down. On-chain AI. I'm conscious I don't want to do another 3-hour stream. How long have I been on so far? 1 hour! I'm getting through this quite well. I think I was already at 2 hours at this point last time. Suppo, you're not thinking of moving to Dubai like most YouTubers? No, I'm thinking of moving to Monaco. I don't want to live in Dubai. Dubai's not my scene. Monaco is. Optimism. What's the discount code for your course? It should be Suppo Coins. If it's not, I'll create another one at the end of this one. There's 534 of you. So if you would be so kind, people, if you would be the lovely, beautiful people that Team Suppo is naturally, if you could just smash a like, just tap it. I've joined you. 272 likes now. So can you have a like after me? That would be lovely. Fluff Longbottom, just to say thank you, Sensei. $50. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much. And you gotta get this.
You know, I wake up every morning, I'm like, oh my God, I'm living in Monaco. I'm living in a dream. Really?
Really?
Yes.
I love her. God. But you deserve that. Thank you very much. That is Monaco Karma. If you get Monaco Karma from Victoria Silvstedt, you're done. She lives in Monaco. And yeah. One day, mimosas on the beach with Victoria. Anyway. Yeah, okay, that's it, I think. But yeah, basically, a lot of you have said optimism. And are you right or are you actually wrong? The answer is, you're right. Optimism is the second big brand. The layer 2 big brands. Now, Arbitrum is the 4th largest total value locked chain in all of cryptocurrency. Out of all those blockchains, hundreds of them, Arbitrum's number 4. That entitles it to the big brand. And obviously Matic is, kind of like the, it's kind of like, it's kind of trying to be all the layer 2's technology in one brand. But to me, I've made my money in Matic. This is it was my biggest call of last bull cycle. Now I'm looking for the next one. Arbitrum, 4th largest amount of total value locked, even more than Matic. Optimism is aptly named after the actual technology. So the technology is optimistic rollups. There's 2 types of rollups in scaling. That is ZK rollups and optimistic rollups. The difference between them is that optimistic rollups, it has a little bit of, it's a bit slower in the process. But it's kind of like, it's, the key word is optimism. So they are optimistically, and this is how they scale. Optimistically, imagining all the transactions are correct, valid, should be put through. And so that's how they achieve the scalability. And being called optimism with optimistic rollups makes it a big brand, doesn't it? It's kind of like, it's kind of like Coca-Cola, as it were. You don't call it, what is it? Whatever, fizzy water or whatever. Can't think of the word. You don't call it like fizzy drink. You call it Coke because it's Coke, because Coca-Cola is like the brand. And optimism's the same. It's got very, very strong brand recognition. And of course, it is the technology stack that Base was built on. So Base used optimistic technology, Optimism's actual technology specifically. Because Arbitrum is also optimistic rollup technology. But Optimism was used by Base, the Base blockchain. So and now also so has Binance Smart Chain has created a optimistic based version of the chain with Optimism's technology stack. So that's showing Base blockchain, Binance Smart Chain have built with Optimism's technology. So Optimism is a solid pick for the next bull market. It's just going to be a case of how low can it go. Now, initially, I was hoping this would go to about 20, 30 cents. I don't think that's going to necessarily happen. But Optimism has got incredibly high inflation. Like, Optimism's inflation is the biggest on this list. SWI is 818% inflation between now and 2025. But Optimism's 1,000%. And so, I'm factoring that in. The unlocks are happening right now. They're continuing to happen. And we've still got, a good at least 8 months left of the bear market. So that gives a good amount of time for A, the market to find a bottom, B, for the unlocks to actually crush Optimism, and you can get it for about 50 cents. Now, I bought it at 49 cents. I can't remember if it was 42 or 49 cents. The buy order was made a long time ago on Binance. But what I do know is I wish I had bought more. I wish I had, but I didn't. I bought only a small amount. I bought like $300 worth. Pathetic. But if I could turn back time, I would probably put about 30,000 into it, because even if that isn't the bottom, that's a pretty good optimal buy price. So anyway, so Optimism is a very, very, very solid pick, and I can only imagine that in the next bull market is going to be way more total value locked, more DApps. Obviously, it's going to be EIP 1448, which is going to make optimistic rollups scale 10 times faster than they are already. So optimistic rollups around about 3,000, 4,000 transactions per second. So that's going to basically mean that it makes Ethereum scale to about 40,000 transactions per second. You hear that? 40,000. This is going to absolutely kick ass off Matic. And there's going to be more, as you saw, Binance Smart Chain using Optimism. Base is using Optimism. Like, it's the technology. People are going to Optimism. They're not going to Arbitrum. They're going to Optimism. They're not going to Matic. They're going to Optimism. So, yeah, there we are. So, Optimism is a big brand in Layer 2. And I think it's going to go, go over $20. Next up, NFTs. I can't even remember what I've put in here. Oh, yes, of course. So for NFTs, there is one very, very good cryptocurrency that's not had a hype cycle yet, or at least not a full hype cycle. And that is Immutable X. So Immutable X is a technology that enables for NFTs to be minted with zero gas. So if you were around in 2021, if you ever minted an NFT, sometimes it could cost an Ethereum. It was ridiculous. The gas prices to mint NFTs in the hype cycle was astronomical. I tried to generate 3 or 4 Shiboshis, and I spent $1,000 in gas. Ridiculous. And actually, that was cheap, because another transaction would have been $2,000. So minting NFTs on Ethereum without a technology like Immutable X, will cost you a fortune, and it actually prices out most retail investors. So Immutable X is essentially technology that a lot of projects have utilized to make minting free or very, very cheap. So the likes of Gods Unchained, Illuvium, two big projects amongst Immutable X's catalog of projects, of big projects that are using Immutable X technology for free minting or cheap minting of NFTs, cheap transactions of NFTs. This is a technology which is very much at the forefront of improving NFT infrastructure. And Immutable X is really the number one name in it. Okay, so the number one name. Now, to me, what I don't like about Immutable X is it's already quite high in market cap. So what I'd be wanting is for Immutable X to go to about 25 cents. Because in the last bull market, Immutable X went to $9.50. $9.50. And it wasn't, for God's sake, and it wasn't really a bull market. Immutable X hit that 9.50 coming out like a week after the Bitcoin top. Hit 9.50 after the Bitcoin top. So it didn't have the run up. It just kind of came out to that price, right? So it didn't have that. It didn't have a full hype cycle. It didn't have a full bottom to top trajectory. And that is what's so violent. And not only that, but Immutable X is quite an elite coin. NFT is definitely going to be a narrative that when it comes to ETFs in the future, maybe not necessarily in the next bull market, but maybe the one after that, when ETFs are a little bit more matured, they've got more of a basket of cryptocurrencies, they're looking at like what is part of NFT infrastructure. Immutable X is it. This is the best one. This is the best NFT infrastructure that exists in cryptocurrency right now. And I've put 25 cents as an optimal buy price because Immutable X's IDO was 15 cents. So I don't think Immutable X is going to go as low as that. I'd love it if it did. But I don't think it'll go as low as that. But as long as it doesn't go, as long as it goes to at least below 2x its IDO price, I think that's a very good place to get into Immutable X. Hopefully it goes down even less than that. But what I will say about Immutable X is that it's actually inflating in terms of the circulating supply, and yet is not coming down in price, and that's annoying. Because my buy price for Immutable X, I think, is a lot cheaper. Yeah, it was in the 30 cents. I think around about the time that FTX went down, it went into about 39 cents, and I bought it then. And yet, the market cap has gone up in that time, despite the price has not really gone up a huge amount. All right, so the market cap was 131 million, and then it went up to 1.33 billion, so 10x in market cap, basically, and that's only because of circulating supply, not because of the price. So that is annoying, but I'm hopeful that it will continue kind of inflating, unlocking. People are going to get their IDO allocations. They're going to sell them, particularly as the bottom comes in. And we'll be able to get a favourable price of Immutable X, and it'll halve, essentially. That's what I'm hoping for Immutable X, because Immutable X is sublime technology, really. And I can only imagine this is only the beginning of their adoption. They've been around 2 years. They've got most of the main crypto projects in it. Like most of the main crypto games that requires NFT minting or NFT involvement are using Immutable X. And that's only going to improve. And there's going to be probably, I would say, mainstream partnerships, like the likes of maybe Microsoft, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, NFTs were really becoming something. Being able to include them in a profile picture, being able to have like a moving NFT, having actual NFT technology integrated into these platforms. And that, I think, is going to make Immutable X valuable in the future. So really, ideally, one will be able to get this about 25 cents. But NFTs, I think, are going to come back. And I think it's going to be better next time because they'll have Immutable X. And there's just going to be... there's so many crypto gaming projects and games developers that there's just going to be so many requirements for a decent NFT infrastructure that's not costly and doesn't price out the retail investor or retail consumer, as it were. Right, in a Layer Zero, you will see that last week I chose Avalanche as my top pick. And my second pick, which is also a mega brand in Layer Zero, is Polkadot. Now, Polkadot missed out on I would say, the narrative. So what happened is that basically there's two tokens. There's Polkadot and then it's its sister chain, which is Kusama. Kusama is basically the test chain for Polkadot projects. So they deploy it on Kusama first, see how it goes, test it all and correctly, etc. And Kusama in the last bull market had a hype cycle, right? It had the hype cycle of kind of Polkadot did go up. It went up from like $2 to what was it, $50 or so, $45. But Kusama had not only that speculation of DOT, which took Kusama up, but also it had the crowd loans. So you needed to buy and lock up the Kusama to get into the likes of Moon River, Karora, Shiden, and all these sister chains of what are now the bigger versions like Moonbeam, Akala, Centrifuge. So Kusama really exploited the narrative. They had the crowd loans during the bull market. Whereas Polkadot, they did the crowd loans for Akala, for Moonbeam, for Centrifuge and Affinity and all of this lot after the top. And so they missed it. It could have been $150 cryptocurrency, but they missed it. The demand for Polkadot was not caught up in that perfect storm, just like it was for Kusama. And so next time, I think that Polkadot, there's going to be more technologies, there's going to be more layer ones, more dApps, etc. That are going to be created on Polkadot. There's going to be good for a parachain. People are going to be wanting in. It's going to be like the crowd loan. It's basically like an IDO. It's going to have the crowd loan process again. And people are going to lock up their DOT, take part in it. But also people are going to love DOT because it's responsible for the likes of, Moonbeam, Akala, Astar, Centrifuge, Hydra DX, and Affinity, and a load of projects that actually are looking very promising. So, Polkadot is a way of getting your layer one and connecting it to a consensus. You get your security, you get your consensus algorithm, and decentralization from Polkadot. All you really need to come up with is the unique technology that makes your project different, hence Moonbeam. But essentially, by plugging into Polkadot, you become a multi-chain dApp. And so that's great technology. Polkadot and Cosmos, they're both very good technologies. But to me, I love Polkadot. It's obviously got Gavin Wood, who started Polkadot. Gavin was one of the founding members of Ethereum. Gavin Wood, Charles Hoskinson, Vitalik Buterin are the founding members of Ethereum. And Cardano's gone on to become popular. Ethereum's gone on to become super popular. And Polkadot, although by market cap, it is super popular. According to developer activity, it's super popular. It's price that has not really done anything. So I anticipate that Polkadot will move on up and have some very decent multipliers. And I really want to wait for Polkadot to get to about $1.50, $2. It sounds a stretch, but I'm hopeful it will come down because it's already in the low fours now. So I imagine as people get their Polkadot unlocked, they'll sell it and it will lead to a sell-off. And then that will lead to the next bull market. And then hopefully this will have the bull market it should have had last time. DEXs. The DEX that I have chosen for mid-risk is Hashflow. So Hashflow is a project I really like. So where GMX is more for derivatives, so you use GMX really as a DeFi protocol. You use it for staking, you use it for longing and shorting. Hashflow is like a decentralized spot exchange. So with Hashflow, what you have with Hashflow is you've got zero fees and you've got zero slippage. So what you notice as a problem with anything, Pulse X, Uniswap, Sushi, PancakeSwap, is all of them have slippage, right? So if you are looking to buy the exact amount for your stable coin, so let's say you've got USDT, if you wanted to buy the exact, amount of coins for the USDT you're putting in, you need Hashflow, because on all the others you have to pay a slippage, and that actually eats into your profits. So Hashflow have removed any fees associated with investing on the spot. And that's why I love Hashflow. And not only that, but it's multi-chain as well. So Hashflow operates on a variety of different chains. So it's kind of like, to me, Hashflow is what Uniswap is still striving to be. You know, a multi-chain, cheap to transact, very lovely user experience. It's still aiming to be that. And Hashflow is actually, that is what Hashflow is built to be. And Hashflow, it's got Binance invested, a ton of VCs invested. It was launched on Binance, so it's already got that kind of liquidity, visibility to the retail market. And as a result of that, I think that the hype cycle coming up for it could be explosive, potentially way more explosive than GMX. So that's why I love this DEX. I haven't even taken a position in Hashflow yet. I really love it. And presently it's about 30 or so cents, 30 something cents. But I really want in on this, and I will get in on it if it goes down to a more, what I should say, appropriate price. But as a DEX, this is exactly what's needed. GMX has got a ton of adoption. A ton of adoption. Because it's, you know, you essentially have Bybit functionality, but without having to give custody of your funds to a third party. You have it in your wallet, and you can do everything from your wallet that you would traditionally have to move your funds to another wallet, like on Bybit or any of the others. So GMX revolutionized derivatives. Hashflow, I think, will revolutionize spot exchanges. And as you can see, really, really fantastic volume. Look, 20 million. It's, you know, it's doing way better than a 5-to-1 market. It's doing better than a 5-to-1 ratio to market cap. You know, it's kind of what, 3 and a bit to 1. You know, the market cap rank is 279 and the volume rank is 118. So this clearly, yeah, people love it. And you know, where it is now is basically towards its bottom, but it needs to lose a lot more. But I really love Hashflow. Meme! Let's ask you guys, what do you think the meme is? Oh, wow! Thank you! Wow! So, first of all, we got Salter Nigus, Storge. Oh my god, that's old. Storge is old. I wouldn't touch that. That is a storage-based cryptocurrency that came out in like 2015, 16 or something like that. But thank you very much for the 10 PLN. And Joe Rhodes, thank you very much for the $20. That is supreme. I love it. Thank you. And you deserve this.
The People's Elbow! The People's Elbow!
Walla 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 back! Love it. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks for all you do. I really aim to just make you guys rich. I am a 1% YouTuber. I'm not out for myself. I'm out for you. This is a public... I'm the only YouTuber... I mean, arguably, Jerry Banfield would say he is as well, but he's, you know, maybe a little bit too snobby, I would say, about altcoins. But I'm doing you a public service. Public. Free. Yeah. But so therefore, I'm very appreciative of your donations, contributions. So thank you very much, Joe Rhodes. Really appreciate that. Okay, so let's see what you guys are saying about the meme coin. Shiba, Doge Chain, I think that is. Pepe 2.0. Wall Street, no. Shib, Doge Chain, Bone, Flocky. Jerry Banfield is always negative about altcoins. He is very negative. And you know, I just don't agree with a lot of the things that he says these days. But one person has got it so far. One person has got it. And it is an aged meme but one that is a big brand-ish in crypto meme lore, and that is Flocky. So, if you don't know the story, Flocky is Elon Musk's Shiba Inu dog, right? So, he obviously has a deep liking for Dogecoin, and as a result of Dogecoin, he bought a Shiba Inu, and he called it Flocky. So in the last bull market, Doge did a mega 300x. Shiba, on the back of Elon Musk Doge and meme hype, Dogcoin hype, emerged as the best performing meme coin, or one of the best performing meme coins. And Flocky was a subcategory of Shiba Inu. So Shiba is a derivative of Doge, and Flocky is a derivative of Shiba. But the difference being is that Flocky actually, it did have a decent bull market, don't get me wrong, but it's come drastically down. And since then, it's now on Binance. So it's actually opened up to even more people. So where you've got Shiba and you've got Doge and Pepe on Binance, Doge and Shiba have already exploited Binance in the last bull market. Flocky has not, because it's only recently been included onto Binance. So Flocky, I think, has more legs in it. There's a lot of brand recognition. A lot of people have invested in Flocky or want to invest in Flocky. So that makes it mid-risk, in my opinion. It's not quite low risk, but it's not high risk either, because high risk would be something like Wojak and Pepe 2.0 and Ben and Bob and all that. That's higher risk. But Flocky is much lower risk because a lot of people know about it. Elon Musk is undoubtedly going to be posting more pictures of his dog Flocky on Twitter. And at the time that Flocky was created, the coin Flocky, Elon was not the CEO of Twitter at that point. He was not even, he hadn't bought Twitter or anything at that point. At that point, he was just wanting to buy Twitter and getting all in on Dogecoin. So Flocky could have explosive power in the next bull market. So I'm waiting for it to essentially retrace back to 5089. So let's just have a look and see how far we are away from that. Because from what I have seen, Flocky is a relatively aged meme coin, which means that it's not probably quite as explosive as the likes of, the newer ones. The newer ones, which are a little bit more relevant for the time. Flocky is more of a accumulation meme coin. Like if you're wanting to have meme coins in your portfolio, this is one that's lower risk, higher brand recognition, big community, etc. So, Flocky is 303. So that is 300x down. No, 30x down from its all-time high, roughly. No, 20x down from its all-time high. So it's come down dramatically. 508. So it's already hit 508, but this was before it went on Binance. So this was when it had lower volume, lower speculation. Now it's on Binance. It may not droop that low. I'm hopeful that it does. 30x is still for a meme coin of this popularity. 30x is quite significant, but I would want it to be a 60x essentially, and that is what getting Flocky at the optimal buy price, this optimal buy price would do. You're getting it really, really low, in my opinion. Anyway, much lower than it was at any point during the bull market of 2021. Okay, next in gaming. This is going to be an interesting one. So to me, Mines of Delania is my mid-risk play for the next bull market. So Mines of Delania is on Binance. It gets spoken about by the gaming YouTubers. So when the gaming narrative comes along, this is going to get talked about. It's on Binance. Bear with me a sec. Throat's dry. It's on Binance. So, and it also got launched by Binance. So, so it already had amongst the best start. That was basically Binance saying, this is good, take notice of it. Mines of Delania is basically a side-scrolling game where you play the role of a character where you are mining various different rewards, which you get to keep. So it's a play-to-earn game. So you mine, essentially, things that you can get paid to sell. And that is the revenue model, or the incentive model, for Mines of Delania. Super good graphics, very smooth gameplay, and it's not fully out yet, but I have seen, depictions of it. Other beta testers and all that playing it, and it looks superb. It looks honestly superb. And like I said, it's got really excellent volume. And again, it is also new-ish. And I have got a buy order for Mines of Delania. Presently at around about 6.7 cents for just another DCA pop at it. So look, it's a 31 million in market cap with 10 million volume. So the volume is 3 times better than its market cap, and it's a 3-to-1 ratio. This came out literally a day after the Bitcoin top, right? So it's not had that full trajectory. Again, it's not had that Axie Infinity. And I think that the game that becomes the next Axie Infinity, because Axie Infinity's had its hype cycle. Yes, it'll probably do well again, but it had its hype cycle. The thing that's going to replace it and be the next Axie Infinity, which I'm not saying necessarily Mines of Delania will be, because it doesn't exactly roll off the tongue like Axie Infinity. And it doesn't necessarily have the the look of $1 billion gaming studio's game as Axie Infinity did. But what's needed for the next Axie Infinity is simplicity. Simplicity to earn, simplicity to play, and addiction to play. And from what I've seen of Mines of Delania, it looks super easy. Like it's just like your average like Sonic and Mario kind of game. Side scroller 2D. Well, it's like 2D, but it's kind of 2D 3D. It's like really good quality 2D. And it's simple to play. Just a side scroller. It's so simple. Anyone can play it. Man, woman, child, old person. Anyone can play it. And I think that is what's going to make it attractive. Whereas Illuvium is like it's a 3D harder, I would say harder to play. It's probably more for the more seasoned gamer, the higher quality, higher skilled gamer, right? That's going to be able to, somebody who's good at Fortnite, good at Returnal and third person RPGs like that. But Mines is just simple. It's just like every single really successful game in the past. To me, it's a perfect blend of what makes a great game. But I've got an outdated view, but I think it's fantastic. So like I said, not really been bull exposed, super cheap, great volume, great market cap to volume ratio, part of the gaming narrative, which I think is going to be super successful next bull market again. So I love Mines, want this one. And I've already started, I've bought a bit, but I want to buy more. Metaverse. Well, we've had Decentraland. To me, the one that comes next is the one that is essentially looking to be the next Decentraland. And that is High Street. So High Street is it's a non-bull exposed, or just partially, literally the tail end of the last bull market it came out. And High Street is a higher quality version of Decentraland. High Street very, very recently. It's a metaverse, open metaverse. You go into it, you can talk to people, you have adventures, you have mini games, all of this stuff. It's in 3D, it's virtual reality, essentially. The team behind it have worked at Binance and NEM. They were launched on Binance, which already gave it a fantastic start again. And it just looks higher quality than Decentraland. And very recently, they they have integrated ChatGPT into the various characters in High Street. So, if you're walking around High Street, you can essentially talk to characters and you will have proper conversations with them. All right, it won't be just like hello and some bullshit. All right, you'll actually be able to ask them a question and they'll be able to give you a ChatGPT-esque answer. Right. So ChatGPT technology mixed in with the High Street means it's going to be just a much better, more immersive VR or Metaverse experience. The other thing about High Street is that it's very early in the adoption phase. So what High Street are looking to do is essentially in the name is their value proposition. So what they're looking to do is they're looking to bring brands into the Metaverse. So they're looking to get, High Street, shops, retailers, clothing outlets to bring what they call phygital items to High Street. So that is items that are physical, but they're turned digital. So you own what you would buy in a shop in the Metaverse, if you get what I'm saying. So they just create a replica Metaverse version of their branded items. So you can essentially stock yourself wear, Gucci or wear Prada or wear Louis Vuitton, which is what I'm sure if Richard Hart was in the High Street is exactly what he would wear. So that's what they're looking to do. They're looking to bring brands in. It's not just creating an open Metaverse world and bye-bye, that's it. End of objective. No, they're actually getting in or looking to create partnerships with big brands. And one of their partnerships is Animoca Brands, who are big in the NFT space and the Metaverse space, and have got partnerships themselves with big retailers. So that is going to help with High Street getting adoption and bringing the physical world into the Metaverse in a cryptocurrency specific way. So Decentraland is way more developed than High Street. High Street at this point is still very early stages. You can play it, but not properly play it. But it will develop. And over the next bull market, I imagine, will be the more impressive Metaverse than Decentraland. And it's been very stable as well, I've got to say that. Games devs. I think you guys will definitely know what comes here. And in the meantime, Lawrence Cars. Lawrence, you are way too nice to me. 60 euros. My God, muster sign. Well, it's got to be done, hasn't it? And you definitely get this.
I wake up every morning, I'm like, oh my God, I'm living in Monaco. I'm living in a dream. Really?
Really?
Yes.
And
Certain rules
this.
that you have to follow, and then you're fine.
Like what?
Well, you have to be liquid.
I feel you deserve that. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Lawrence. Thank you for the support. Right, yes. So let's see what you guys say. Wag Me Games. Yeah, Wag Me Games to me is already kind of, left the bottom. So I'm not interested in it unless it retraces, basically. Red Bull. Drink of champions. Okay, so not much in the way of guesses, people. Come on, use your imagination. And if you're not using your imagination, if you're not putting a guess, and you haven't yet smashed the like button, just smash it. I would greatly appreciate it. So what have we got? So we got Miria, Magic, Sidus, Miria, Magic, Altura, Vulcan Forged, Magic, Games for a Living, Gods for some reason, Games for a Living, Miria. Very, very interesting responses. Okay, so I'm going to put you out of your misery, and this is without doubt, one of my favourite. One of the ones I really, really want to be a whale in, and that is Magic. So Magic is basically the Arbitrum version of Gala. So Magic are creating a suite of high-quality games which are running basically on Arbitrum. So that means that's the world of difference. In the last bull market, the amount of the amount of games that came out, and I tried to play them, they were slow, they were rubbish. I won't name names in case any of the founders or marketing people are watching. They were rubbish. They were sloppy, slow, clunky, very, very bad user experience. Because they were on Ethereum. So that means it was slow, particularly when it was during the hype cycle. So everything... Ethereum gas and Ethereum usage was off the... What the hell? Piss off, Siri.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, fuck off. Activity on the Ethereum network was off the wall, and it just made the gaming experience horrible. But Magic running on Arbitrum, which essentially means that it's very, very fast, very, very cheap, the transactions, just doing things, signing transactions. Because I played the games, and there actually is quite a lot of... There is quite a lot of transactions. All right, you are pretty much signing for loads of different activities. You buy NFTs, you use NFTs. There's a lot of interaction with the wallet, and that can be expensive and abusive with Ethereum, which Gala and most of the other game developers, this stuff's on Ethereum. So Magic is like they're doing it right. Magic, and it's got a great name. Admittedly, a little bit of confusion, because you've got Magic and then you've got Treasure DAO. And Treasure is like the name of the website and the name of the project, really. But then, it comes under Magic. But great name. Branding's excellent. You know it's Magic. The games look superb. They're doing a lot of work on it. And this was super popular at the beginning of this year. And now it's come down so much. And I love that. It's come down super, super much, and I love it. It was like $2 in March, I want to say. It 2x'd in a day. So it was at $1. I wanted to buy it. I didn't buy it. It 2x'd in a day, and now it's gonna virtually be worth 10x less than that $2. And this is without much evolution of the actual brand. At this point, it's just a few games, but there's going to be more games, there's going to be high-quality games, and arguably, they have got the potential to do what Gala have done, which is spin off into other entertainments or other branches of gaming or Metaverse. So Gala started with games, and now they're in music and film. Magic can do the exact same. They're building the brand. They have, I'm not sure about recently, but what I will say is that for the most part of this year, Magic have done super well for volume. Probably not so much recently. Oh no, it's still excellent. It's down. But look, 113 million market cap, 23 million. It's in the top 100 for volume. And considering there's 26,000 cryptocurrencies, and this is in the top 100 for volume. And it's 115 million market cap. Let's have a look and see where Gala is. Gala's 430, and it's over 10 to 1. It's like 12 to 1 or something even more than that. 12 to 1 ratio. And Magic's virtually the same volume, 4 times less in market cap. Much better performer. And I am looking to, like I said, I'm looking to get Magic much cheaper. The other thing I love about Magic is, again, it falls out of that Bitcoin topping trajectory where it went from, Bitcoin went from 3,000 to 70,000, which is what, all the coins that did, 200, 400 X's, they all saw the full trajectory. They went right to the depths of the bottom and then surged to the top. And in a lot of cases, as you've seen in my research, in a lot of cases, this was their first hype cycle. This was their first bull market. And they had come out during the bull market, had plummeted down to a bottom price, and then went on to surge. Went on to make, 300, 400, 500 X's, right? And so to me, Magic has got that same potential. Like it didn't. It came out after the bull run. It is in its infancy. It's got a better technology than Gala. Gala has been in a hype cycle already. Magic has not. So it's Magic's turn next time. And you saw with the metrics, it's got excellent amounts of volume. And actually, it's got supreme amount of hodlers as well. So we have a look at the Explorer. 364,000! And that is ridiculous. And that's not everything? What is it on Ether? 4,000. Let's have a look at Gala. So let me just get that. Let me just get the 364. What the hell? Shits on Gala. Shits on Gala. Look at that. So there we are. There's proof is in the pudding, people. Look, 364 versus 207. Magic has more hodlers and is 3x less. Do the math. Okay, enough about Magic. Launchpads. So last week I brought you DAO Maker. This week I bring you DeFi as the mid-risk. Now DeFi, where DAO Maker is more like your general elite projects-ish. I mean, they're not elite. You're not going to get into like a Matic through, or an Arbitrum or an Optimism through a Launchpad. That is specific only to the creme de la creme of crypto, the VCs, the premier tier VCs, the premier tier exchanges. You won't get that in a Launchpad. But as far as like their quality, good quality projects that kind of stand the test of time, do pretty well, DAO Maker. DeFi is a niche Launchpad. And given that I foresee that gaming, Metaverse, games devs, and AI are going to be 4 super narratives of the next cycle. Well, not necessarily super narratives, but they're going to be very strong narratives of the next cycle. Those are the exact niches that DeFi satisfy. So they go for games, Metaverse, games devs, and AI. Those are the 4 types of project that launch on DeFi. So DeFi has been crushed in this bull market. And DeFi, without a doubt, was definitely one of the most popular launch pads. Most like as far as like the high quality investor is concerned, this was one of the best launch pads of the last cycle. And now it's like half a dollar. You know, even lately it has been, you know, upwards of $1. This is the bottom. It's currently okay, not quite the bottom, but it's the second lowest price we have seen since its inception. And this is a crypto that went to $16. I'm pretty sure this went to $20 from my recollection. So given it's been at $20 and there's a strong likelihood of this coming down to about 20 cents, it's already halved from $1, which wasn't that long ago. I can see it easily halving from half a dollar. So yeah, so DeFi, that would make it perfect for people wanting to get into DeFi and wanting to get into top quality projects. Because DeFi was responsible for some supreme projects in the last cycle. Very, very good quality projects. So I imagine, I mean, it's in a bear market and they're still bringing out projects. But if you want to be in the best kind of games, then really it is DeFi that gives you the ability to do that. What I don't like about DeFi is that they're not very good at showcasing the gains made from the cryptocurrencies that launched here. But I can tell you that there were some significant gaming projects that came like Fate and Arena and did megarific gains in the last bull market. So therefore, DeFi for a launch pad, I think if you're looking to get into games and AI projects, obviously Bluezilla have got, but I would say Bluezilla is more of a degen high risk but a very high reward. They have AI Pad, they have Game Zone, they've got Meta VPad. But if you want one token that covers all of those different niches, it's CDeFi. And decent projects that actually, Alex Becker, I would say that the top gaming crypto YouTubers are Alex Becker and Elio Trades. They cover games better than anyone else. And they talked a lot about cryptocurrencies that came out of CDeFi. And they actually helped blow up a lot of cryptocurrencies at seed stage or IDO stage. Before they came out, they blew up these coins, and then when they came out, they just shot to the moon. So you can almost rely on them to do the same again, because that's what Alex Becker does. He does gaming only. He does talk about Bitcoin, he talks about ETH and sometimes layer ones, but really he talks about games, and he will undoubtedly talk about what comes out of CDeFi. So not only will you make the gains on CDeFi, but also the cryptocurrencies that launch out of these, which are in very popular niches. CDeFi were great. They forward think. They obviously predicted gaming, Metaverse would be very, very strong narratives. So they made it. They made their Launchpad from an early stage specific to that, way before the Metaverse and gaming narratives really took off. And now they've added AI, they've made themselves just that little bit more appealing. DeSo. This is a narrative that I think is a bit lukewarm, but I think has the potential to do really well next time. And this is Veracity. Veracity is an aged cryptocurrency. It did really well in the last bull market. It did over 100x in the last bull market, I believe. And it's just one of those coins that doesn't die. It's one of those cult coins. It's like Hex, it's like XRP. It's just got a big, big fat community behind Veracity. And the thing is that thus far, the technology has not actually even come out. It's not launched properly yet. We know what the value proposition is. We know what the white paper says, which is that essentially this is to combat ad fraud in social media, in all social media. Essentially, all the money that is wasted every year through click farms and all this kind of thing that essentially make ad budgets ineffective. People spend 100,000. If people spend 100,000 on an ad budget and basically they waste it on farm clicks, they are not getting much for their money. Veracity does solve a big pain, and it is just one of those DGen coins. People just love it. It's got those multiple zeros. It's an exciting brand, exciting cryptocurrency. It's got a shit ton of hodlers. It's just one of those ones poised to do well. And it did really well in the last cycle, despite there being no DeSo narrative. This is a DeSo cryptocurrency, either way. It did concentrate kind of ad tech, but it's DeSo. So I think Veracity is strong. It's been strong. It's not yet on Binance, and yet Binance have a big wallet of Veracity. So it's definitely going to be on Binance, should they survive the bull market. And this will fly, I'm sure. Right, before I move on to the next one, let's have a look and see what you guys are saying, because I've been speaking for a while, and I've noticed that the chat is really popping off. So let's just have a look and see what you guys are saying. There's not really any questions, to be honest. No, there really is actually no questions. What the hell, people? What's your Solana for the next bull run? What's going to do a soul move this year? What coin? To me, it's between Near, Sui, Aptos, and the ones that are in these two, which we'll find out next time. But Near, I think, could definitely. They had no real ecosystem last time. Sui has no real ecosystem. Well, it's got an ecosystem, but nothing that is being super concentrated on. Nobody's really talking about altcoins. If you watch any crypto YouTuber right now, they're all about the news. It's like, oh, what's happening in the news? And it's bullshit. None of them are actually talking about cryptos at all. They're not talking about specific altcoins. I actually find most YouTubers very boring to watch, and I vow never to be like that. I vow never to be a news channel that basically reads regurgitated headlines that actually are manipulated anyway. Like, they're put specifically in front of the retail investor to make them act and perform a certain way. And I won't be one of those people that essentially permeate narratives that are mostly false anyway. News follows price, not the other way around. It's not price follows news. So it's not something has happened and then all of a sudden, it's not something that happened that's an event, then price goes down and it's written about in the news. No, the price goes down because of manipulation, and then a news article is placed to kind of justify why the price went down, but it's normally not true. It's like, if you look at on-chain metrics, that's where you see the truth, where you see minor capitulation, where you see funds being moved to or from exchanges, address balances going up. That's where you see the truth. Where you see the lies is Cointelegraph, Coindesk, and therefore every YouTuber that regurgitates the shit from all of them. Anyway, where was I going with that? I don't even know. But all I know is that most people are most crypto YouTubers are trash. Yeah, okay, so there weren't actually any questions. Oh, here we are. Now there are some questions. Crust Network. I like Crust Network. You may yet see that. Or you may not. Who knows? I won't say. I sold my hello for profit and put it into Voxy's, Remark, and Ironfish. If the TV show flops, 50-50 is a dead coin. Good point. Hello, GFAL, Joystream, Arion, Octa, Casper, Pepe, Dogechain. I don't know every coin, so I can't say with not certainty. I can't say with educated perception that they're going to do well or not, because I don't really know Joystream, I don't know Arion, don't know Octa. NRG Tube, good integrity, Suppo. Thank you very much. I'm glad you acknowledged that. What's the best launchpad right now? This is kind of what the narrative plays are saying. Like, launchpads are not good in a bear market. Like, launchpads are bull market tools. They're a bull market way of exploiting the greed in the market by getting to a pre-sale, some of the time it's just hot air. The project's hot air, but who cares? You don't care, because it's all about speculation. You think it could do well, so you buy it. And in a bull market, there's more of a mass that think it's going to do well. Whereas in a bear market, even if a cryptocurrency is going to launch on a launchpad, looks great. I mean, it's never going to be, Sui Aptos or any of the quality that you see here. But, it'll definitely have legs. You'll think, oh yeah, this could do really well. But there won't be the appetite, the bullish speculative snowball that, like, it's just a stream of basically buys are going up just like that because speculation is so in abundance. It's not right now. Speculation isn't in abundance. People are actually just thinking the prices are going to go lower, or are bored, or are not in the market at all. And it's a bad time for launchpads. So don't buy any right now, in my opinion, because they actually suffer the longer a bear market goes on. Storage. What do you think storage is going to be? Accidental Genius. Suppo 3 versus 3 battle. Near Zen Miria versus Aptos Dogechain Taki. Fucking hell, man. That's a good one. It's got to be near Zen and Miria. It's got to be. Got to be. I mean, Zen is the decider, really. Because Zen can do a hex. It really can. If you catch the bottom, it will do a hex. Suppo, some folks calling for a sleepy September and just walk away and just say walk away. Are you planning on buying this month? Yeah. I will buy little snippets, yeah. I'll buy little snippets because why not? Sometimes you will catch a bottom. Look at me with optimism. I caught a bottom a year ago. There's been a whole year of a crushing bear market since. And optimism hasn't even gotten close to that price. So sometimes you'll catch a bottom. And sometimes it's good because, really ideally you want to get in at the bottom, but that's never going to happen. You're never going to really truly time it. But in a trajectory to, like, when Bitcoin goes from, let's say it goes down to 15, hypothetically, it goes down to 15, and everything else comes down with it. When it goes up to, let's say, 30, 35, it doesn't even have to go to its old all-time high. It goes up to 35, 40k. Most of these alts will have broken even if you're buying now. It'll break even in that point. So really, you're looking to capture the absolute fullest of the trajectory. But halfway through the bull market, you'll already be breaking even if you've been DCAing now. And then the rest will just be multiplying on top of that. That's why you're really trying, at this point, you're trying to squeeze out every multiplier. So the longer you wait, like right now, you'll probably still make a good 10x, 30x on altcoins. But really you want the hundreds, the 300x's. And maybe the odd 1000x. They're very hard to get. But that's what we're scouting for. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is storage. So in the last stream, I brought you Arweave. In this stream, I am bringing you what I would say is one of the most promising cryptocurrencies, even though it has already had a part exposure to a bull market. And that is Stratos. Now, Stratos are going to be actually launching their storage mainnet this month. So they are going to be well on the way to adoption phase from this month. So beforehand, it's just test nets of them testing out the model, testing out the incentive program, the users, which are actually mostly within Stratos or within the Stratos community at this point. But they're going to be having a much bigger a community of miners. They're going to start their trajectory towards being like an Arweave, being like a Filecoin, because the mainnet will be their first step. So what is Stratos? Stratos is a multifaceted crypto project. It's an infrastructure. So what it provides is an all-in-one solution. So most blockchains do not provide storage and computational power. They provide the blockchain ledger, the digital ledger, right? And that is it. What Stratos provide is they provide a blockchain, they provide storage solutions, and they provide computational power in one big, what they call data mesh, right? How is this relevant? Okay, so YouTube, all right? So let's imagine I have the idea of creating the Web3 version of YouTube. All right, I want to have the ultimate DeSo cryptocurrency platform. And how do I create it? What technology do I use to satisfy all my needs? Because I don't just need a blockchain that satisfies financial transactions. So let's say somebody's live streaming and you donate to them. The blockchain's useful for that. But where do all the users go? Where do all the users' files go? All the thumbnails, all the music files, the video files, everything. They need a storage solution. And that's why YouTube work in conjunction with servers and service providers and web services storage solutions because they need to outsource elements of the business. They are the front end, but they need to outsource areas. So what Stratos does is they provide the whole infrastructure for me to create a YouTube, and every single part of having a YouTube exists for me. And it's also got that computational power. So let's say somebody uploads a 4K video, right? And that 4K video has got a very high demands computationally, right? How do you play it so it's seamless, it's smooth, there's no blurriness, there's no buffering. How do you have it so it just plays like the ultimate, like the Spotify for YouTube, just the ultimate, just plays perfectly and it plays straight away? You need computational power. And Stratos have what's called proof of traffic, which is a way in which the mining network is able to satisfy where on the network are higher amounts of traffic coming from, so that they can put computational resource to that and make the network work smoothly. It's a great system. And that's why Stratos, in this whole bear market, has not really gone down. All right, so let's have a look at Stratos. Stratos hit $5 at the peak of the bull market, and it has not even, it's not 10x down. Most cryptos, and I mean like at that market cap level, most cryptos are like 30x, 50x. Look at Flocky, 30x. And Stratos is 10x down. It's hardly gone down. And it's still well above the IDO price. The IDO price was like 30 cents. The private sale price was like 12 cents, 10 cents. So everybody's still majorly in profit with Stratos. So that means that this has been strong in a bear market. And that I find very, very, reassuring for when it enters into a bull market. Because in the last bull market, there was only white paper, there was only speculation on what it could do. But in the next bull market, you'll probably have a decentralized YouTube, a decentralized Facebook, a decentralized Spotify, Web3 social media platforms that are created on Stratos, so you can see the proof of concept, you can see how the infrastructure aids in creating the perfect large-scale dApps. So Stratos it is a narrative play in a number of ways: storage, computational, database, and blockchain. So it's multifaceted in that way. So to me, Stratos is like internet computer. It's not just storage. It's a whole solution for the business and for the end user. It's just like a mini internet computer. And if we have a look at the difference in price between Stratos and internet computer and the gains potential, 88x. And this is with internet computer having gone down so dramatically as well. So this would be like an 800x, if not more. So let me have a look at where internet computer was at an all-time high. So it's $3.32 now. And all-time high was $400. So that's basically 100x and more. That is like 130x. 130x. So if you get 88 times 130, that is actually the potential for Stratos. But I'm not saying it's going to do that. You know, 88 times 130. 11,000x. I'm not saying that Stratos is going to do an 11,000x. But I'm just showing you the Pornhub. Could you get better? I bet he has seen some great videos. Anyway, base blockchain. This is a very undersupplied blockchain at this time. There's not a lot really I can talk about. Bald I brought last time because it is the meme coin. It was the first coin on base blockchain and the first one that was marketed, kind of marketed Pepe style, Shiba style, etc. Yeah, but there's not much else. LeetSwap was a fuck up. RocketSwap gets no adoption. There's hardly anything. Friend Tech is the best thing that has been built out of base blockchain, and that's not even a cryptocurrency. So I have got the second best thing, which is CyberConnect. Now, CyberConnect has very recently had a lot of FUD because of arbitrage opportunities, and I think essentially, I'm not going to say the origin of the whales, but whale games. Whales have been making massive profits with CyberConnect as a vehicle. But I would say that CyberConnect is essentially like Friends Tech, as it were. CyberConnect is an infrastructure for social media companies. And given, I would not normally probably look at CyberConnect, but it is a base blockchain cryptocurrency. It's also on a number of other blockchains, but it's a base blockchain cryptocurrency that actually looks like it's, got a good use case, you can create a friends tech with CyberConnect. So I would be looking for CyberConnect probably to go down more than $2 to more than $2. So if we have a look at CyberConnect is a trending coin today, so it's not difficult to find. It's gone down dramatically from yesterday. It went up to $14.20. Now it's $7.53. So this has been whale manipulated. That's not necessarily bad for the project. It's an 80. It's actually very high market cap. Yeah, so I would be looking for this to go down to actually probably more like 75 cents to $1. I would say that's too expensive. $2 is too expensive. That's what I'd be looking for CyberConnect to get to. But yeah, CyberConnect launched on Binance. It's on a multiple number of chains, and you're able essentially to build a friends tech based cryptocurrency on it, and it's got various different sub services like digital identities, so that's another narrative, social media content, etc. So more than just connecting with people or having a DeSo stroke friends tech sort of interface, this is more about connection, friends, creating like a Facebook, that kind of thing. Or creating like I don't know, I probably like those Yahoo chat rooms, those Yahoo communities back in the early 2000s, if you remember them. I do, unfortunately. And that's what they're looking to create, a Web3 version of that. And they've recently partnered with Animoca Brands, and that shows to me that this has got the makings of good adoption, because Animoca Brands is a big player in cryptocurrency, particularly in gaming and Metaverse. So the fact that they've partnered up with CyberConnect for digital identities and things in the Metaverse means that CyberConnect probably has a very, very good use case. And they've kind of got the whales behind them, so this is more likely to be used than, something like, I don't know, just a more minor social media. DeSo also has great adoption, but it's older. So I'd say CyberConnect has potential. Cardano blockchain. There's very little in the Cardano blockchain. So it's going to be a very simple Sunday swap to me. Sunday swap is a DEX on Cardano which was designed to be the pancake swap. I saw it. The way Charles Hoskinson spoke about it, the branding, the hype behind Sunday swap before its launch, this was gearing to be the pancake swap of Cardano. Now, Cardano has obviously suffered a lot. Like the coin price of Cardano suffered a lot. The ecosystem coins are basically non-existent. They get virtually no volume at all. Like all the wallets that came out, the DeFi, even gaming, everything's decimated on Cardano. So as a result of that, Sunday swap has kind of done the trajectory, the bottom to top trajectory upside down. So they went right to $1.20. There were problems with Sunday swap, and then people sold it off. But now you're in a situation where Sunday swap is 150x less than the all-time high. So you're seeing something that has been brought down so super significantly that the gain's potential is ginormous. So a range of factors have made this have the arse fall out of it, such as a court case involving Cardstarter, problems with its initial few days when people had Cardano locked up for days. I was one of them. I tried to buy Sunday swap. I tried to swap Cardano for Sunday swap, and I just wasn't able to touch my Cardano. It was like $20,000 worth of Cardano. Oh God, can you imagine if I spent $20,000 worth of Cardano on Sunday swap? Like, I would have just been wrecked. But anyway, the transaction didn't go through. I was trying to be one of the first transactors on Sunday swap when it first launched. The transaction didn't go through. I got my money back. And Sunday swap has basically died a death since then. A load of PR disasters. But what I know is that Sunday swap are working very much with Charles Hoskinson, with the wider Cardano community, Cardano projects. Pi, who is like the CTO of SundaeSwap, is a respected figure in the Cardano ecosystem. And so I think that SundaeSwap could definitely have a resurgence. And SundaeSwap could actually be one of the big gainers of the next bull market, because there is no better brand than SundaeSwap in Cardano. There isn't. Everybody says, "Oh, MinSwap." MinSwap's shit. MinSwap's crap. What the hell is that? The branding is terrible. SundaeSwap is easily it's a brilliant brand. It's an exciting brand. It's actually a very sensual brand. If you look at it, the colours, the ice creams, it just looks superb. It way better branding than PancakeSwap. So I think that SundaeSwap could, once it gets that court case, it's all done and dusted, issues with CardStarter are finished, and we've got some tokenomics. We've got a refreshed SundaeSwap in the next bull market. This could fly. But before then, I'm going to wait till it loses another 2/3 of value. So it's presently 0.008 or 0.009. So I'm going to wait till it goes 0.003 and then bet on it. And that could be with the best case scenario, 1000x. Identity. I am a real big fan of this one. Space ID. So where you have got ENS, Ethereum Name Service, and that is probably one of the better performers, one of the best identification performers of the last bull market. That only concentrates on really .eth. Space ID concentrates on .eth, .bnb, .arb, and more to follow in the future. So it's kind of like just a much better version of Ethereum Name Service. Much more identifications that you can have, a business can have, and you as a person can have. You know, so to me, Space ID is one of my favorites. It's got Binance also. It was launched by Binance too, which gives it a nice propeller into the market. And I've DCA'd into Space ID, and I do like it. And I think that it looks, interface excellent, and it's very, very strong for the future. And even today was one of the better performers of all of my bear market hit list today. So Space ID, I'd say, is one of the most exciting identity-based cryptocurrencies that hasn't got the kind of Illuminati stroke manipulated stroke kind of evil, feel about it as WorldCoin. Space ID looks like actually one of the better digital identity cryptocurrencies in the space. And then last of all, DAG. Let's have a look and see what you guys think for DAG. What do you think is the next DAG? And DAG, if you're not already aware, DAG basically means directed acyclic graph, which is a much faster version of blockchain. You don't have blocks. The transaction just goes through. Let's see what you guys say. Gigi, you are shilling welt, for God's sake. CyberConnect or BitConnect Part 2? Well, it doesn't really have many associations with BitConnect, in all honesty. Like, there's nothing like it. But I know what you mean. Like, kind of manipulated. It's getting manipulated, man. Wait a minute, hold on. I haven't missed a super chat, have I? No, maybe not. Just some very, very generous people so far, Towpath. Constellation, A0, Constellation. EOS. FTM. Any other guesses, people? I'll never like Jasmine, GG. I'll never like it. I don't care if it does a 300x. Well, I do, but I just don't like it. I don't get it. I don't see... you got to imagine, there are... On this list alone, there's 80 cryptocurrencies. I can't be in all of them. right? So I'm just saying really what I think are the best. And I don't really know where Jasmine fits in. It's kind of a bit of shit, to be honest. Kaz, Kitmere, Nano, Cult. Okay, let me put you out of your misery. It is a pretty safe one, pretty mid-risky, but in my opinion, this one, again, didn't have its full, not what I would say, it didn't fully realise its value in the last bull market, and that was Phantom. So Phantom was the first DAG that introduced staking. You only have staking in blockchain, really, but Phantom was the first kind of proof of stake DAG infrastructure. And they had Andre Cronje, who was the DeFi godfather, and he was part of the team in Phantom. And he was really why most people were interested in Phantom. Obviously, it was DAG, great technology, had heavy whale influence, sort of China influence. I remember Phantom I picked up at ICO. And it just had a very, very explosive 2021. And I think that Phantom should have hit $10 in the last bull market. Like it was getting there. It went up to what, $2.50, $3? It was getting there. And it's got stopped short. You know, the bull market got stopped short, but Phantom could easily have done a 10x. Like it was just beginning. Like people were really ramping up on Phantom. And the thing is that Phantom is in a way has matured so much more since even 2021. Look, so this was the adoption in 2021. This was the adoption at the top of the market. 1.25 million distinct addresses in Phantom. And Phantom at this point, at this exact point, was $3. $3 at 1.2 million addresses. And now there are 123 million. That is astronomical. 1 million addresses was recorded in a single day. Now let's have a look. 123 million. Let's put this against the amount of hodlers. That is equivalent to Ethereum. No, wait a minute. No, that's a... No, it is. 122 million hodlers of Ethereum. Wait a minute. Something must be wrong here. That can't be right. No, maybe it is right. No, this can't be right. Oh, maybe it is. No, maybe it is right. So Ethereum, 123 million hodlers. I know that Bitcoin has 1 billion addresses, so that's why that slightly confused me. But 123 million, that is giant. There is, I mean, put it this way, Cardano has like 4 million, 5 million. Near has about, I want to say 18 million. Algorand has about 20 million. And Phantom has 123 million. That's incredible. Now, I think the Phantom is one of the Zen chains. And this will definitely have contributed to the adoption. Where the hell is the website? This will have contributed to the adoption. Yeah, there we are, Phantom. But, you know, so did Moonbeam, so did all of these. And none of them have got that many addresses. So it's a mixture of Zen and also just adoption. So that is ginormous. That is absolutely astronomical. Daily increase of 500,000. That is ridiculous, honestly. So, yeah, I mean, Hedera hasn't got anywhere near that. So, if anything, Phantom is probably a safer play. And the encouraging thing is that Phantom has gained all these wallets despite Andre Cronje it being uncertain if he's back. He has said he is back, but that was possibly a marketing ploy. Couldn't say, in all honesty, he's definitely back. So I think that uncertainty is why Phantom has struggled price-wise, because it never refound what it lost from Andre Cronje leaving Phantom, which I believed was a FUD tactic. You know, it's a bit like when you swear, when you're like trying to acquire a company, but you just swear at them and abuse them. But it's a negotiation tactic, right? It's the same in crypto. A lot of the time, founders leave. There are stories of founders selling their tokens, blah, 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 blah. Most of this is manipulated, choreographed FUD, designed to bring the token price down so that it can be reacquired and go on another tear. And Phantom, I think its value is not reflected in the amount of wallets and the amount of adoption. So Phantom, I think, is going to once again have a mega behemoth bull rally. And I think this could easily go over its old all-time high of about $3. Yeah, $3.30 was old all-time high. And I thought its all-time high would be about $10. And, you know, think about it. You know, it's got 88% in circulation. And it's only 600... What the fuck, man? Like, come on. 638 million market cap. If this was to go to kind of Solana's all-time high, 80,000 million billion divided by 123x to get to Solana's old all-time high. That could easily happen in market cap. That could easily happen. So yes, a Phantom is a beauty. So there we are, people. That is your 20. So I hope you loved that. Now I can answer your questions, and also you let me know what did you like. What did you like the most out of all of these? Out of all this lot, if you could pick 3, what would it be? I've actually got more likes than viewers at this point. Interesting. Super check IDEX. IDEX is shit, man. Super, why I can't answer that question. Top one is Stratos. Magic Veracity Hex. That's pretty cool. Near Aptos Cadena. I love it. I love that you guys, I mean, you have your... You know, there's such variety in what you got. You're not all saying the same thing. I love it. You guys... and that's what I love. That is what I love about, you know... Is what I love about these videos. Is I don't want for you to all just love the same as me, even though these are all my coins. But I don't want you to just love what I would pick as a top 3. I want you to know what's out there, why I like it, why I think it's got 200x gains potential, and then say to yourself, okay, I like that, I don't like that, so I'm not interested in that, blah, 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 blah. You know, so it's interesting to see what you guys like and what you guys are picking. Pulse Chain's not in there. Suppo, I'm rich the next bull run. I will visit you in Monaco, brother. Okay, I will have a quite possibly super yacht. Space ID, CyberConnect, Stratos, Magic. I love it. Real good diversity there. Dot near Phantom, GMX near Magic. Truebit. I don't know why you said that. I just doubled my DCA allocation of Stratos after what you just said. It's looming over. Yeah, I mean, to me, Stratos is a legit project. I know the team. I was in it right from the beginning, and as far as I'm concerned, they are very committed to the vision. Very committed to the vision. They're not your average oh, make the founders rich kind of thing. You know, let's just put together a fancy white paper and just be rich. Yeah, mofos. No. These are guys that are actually really committed to making a fantastic all-in-one solution for large dApps, particularly social media or big kind of data dApps. Really well suited for it. And they're working hard to make sure that they actually, you know, deliver on that value proposition. And like I said, you know, they've got a very loyal, committed community. And their inflation is not actually that bad either. Their inflation's small. It's like, what, double figures? It's like 20% a year or something? I can't even remember. It's like not even that much. It's like, yeah, not a lot every year. It's small inflation. So, Stratos, and they were covered by BitBoy, obviously me, they're covered by the infamous BitBoy, and covered by Joe Parry's. So, and it's covered by Jerry Banfield. It attracts attention. You know, it's exciting. I don't know why Jerry's so bullish on Internet Computer when Stratos is a much better opportunity. It's like way lower in market cap, much better in value proposition, probably much better in terms of team, doesn't have the negative PR of, you know, the coin going from $400 to $3. You know, Jerry Banfield talks a lot about, I wouldn't buy on this chart because it's gone from like up here down to here, but like ICP has the worst chart for that. So yeah, anyway, there we are. ICP is a sleeping beast. It may be, but to me it's too expensive, and to me I don't like it. To me, I prefer Stratos any day. Let's go crypto. The man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, the woman's pet and the man's regret. Our crypto superhero. Give it up for Suppo. Let's go get our gains. Thank you very much. Let's go crypto. That was a beauty of a rhyme, I've got to say. And as a result of that, I have got to say to you...
Yes! Yes! Oh my God!
that is what I felt about that poem. When cigar in live stream? Oh yeah, I will have a cigar hour one day. What about VeChain? A good question, actually. You know, VeChain, it's not that sexy. It's supply chain, ultimately. But these guys are the creme de la creme of supply chain. And, you know, but they've had two hype cycles now. They were around in 2017, and they're around in 2020. And both times they kind of retraced their full gains. But don't rule them out, though. You know, they've got great adoption. They've got high amounts of liquidity because of where they are, what they're on, and they've got a big community. So don't be too despondent if these guys absolutely fly and you miss it. But I hold VeChain, and I will more than likely sell the lot at the end of this cycle. Moonbeam or Phantom? I mean, personally speaking, I would say Moonbeam, but that's because Moonbeam is kind of like a porn star to me. Like, Moonbeam is just wearing fishnets and a PVC police officer's outfit. Like, it's just incredibly sexy. Whereas Phantom is more like demure, classy. Super, did you know people from Afghanistan watching you? I didn't know that. So I'm glad to see that there is the Afghanistan crew, the Afghanistan massive is watching me. You've never heard me talk about Layer 1 X. Well, you obviously haven't watched all my videos because I have talked about it and I don't like it. You're no longer interested in eGold. No, I am. I like eGold, actually. Oh, Multiverse X. I am not going to lie. I hate the name. I still hate it. Even after all this time, I hate it. And something that's actually very disconcerting about Multiverse X is that the volume is absolutely dire on it. Look, I mean, it's 3 times worse than the market cap. And that, to me, doesn't necessarily represent a great buying opportunity-ish. And the funny thing is do you remember back in the day when I was talking about Multiverse X, and it was $45 when I first spoke about it, and it instantly rocketed up to $64. And I said, I'm going to buy this at $17, right? Do you remember that? Last year? About this time last year. And people were like, Suppo's never going to go down to 17, it's never going down to 30. What are you on about? And look where it is now. It's like nearly in the teens. So, yeah, I like it still. To me, Multiverse X hasn't changed. The branding has changed. Previously, I felt it was a layer 1. And now I kind of think it's a Metaverse coin. Even though it's not. But the name is so stupid. Like, it's not a layer 1's name, is it? But it's still got supreme tokenomics. And will ultimately be deflationary. And it really does have kind of Bitcoin-esque qualities. Got very good store of value qualities. As well as being kind of like, you know, scalable Ethereum. So I love it. I do love it in a way. I hate the name. And I'm not a big fan. I know a lot of people are. But I'm not a big fan of how intermingled it became with all of the projects within it. X Portal, X Worlds, X Money, X Change. Like, why do that? Like, you don't have on the Ethereum website Uniswap, Tether, I don't know, Coinbase. You don't have that, do you? You just want it to kind of look like a decentralized blockchain where it's like we've got no associations. We are just a technology that's phenomenal. They've got great amount of validator nodes, really good decentralization. I love it, but they have brand-wise fucked up. Elrond, whatever the trademark or copy, whatever the problem was of having Elrond as a company name, they should have just come up with something a bit better. They had so much opportunity to do that. And Multiverse X is literally like, if I could think of the worst possible selection of name for a blockchain, then it wouldn't even be as bad as Multiverse X. It's just terrible. It sucks. Whoever they contracted for branding needs to be shot. It needs to be shot with like a nail gun. This is fucking terrible. They have actually ruined this in a way, but I still like it, and I'm still gonna buy it. Multiverse X Obama Jasmine. I love it. That's fucking hilarious. Yeah, even that's a better name. At least that stands out, like Harry Potter Sonic Obama Sonic 10 Inu and Harry Potter Obama Pac-Man 8 Inu. At least they fucking stand out. But Harry. I didn't know that there were Harry-based cryptocurrencies there, named cryptocurrencies. But yeah, Multiverse X is an absolutely pathetic, poor name, poor man's name. What about Kitmir? Yeah, Kitmir is actually not a great name either, to be fair. But better than Multiverse X. I'll give it that. Sounds cheap. Yes, it does. What is the worst coin here? Near, Algorand, Gala, Galaxy, Vulcan Forged, Hashflow, Altura, Streamcoin. I don't know what that is, so maybe that. Remark, Voxies, Dogechain, Gamium, Crust, Graphlink. Graphlink? That's fucking dead, man. Polka Bridge, dead. Fabwell, Ironfish, Polka, Mythos, Ridotto, Sunday Swap. Graphlink. I mean, that like had a little bit of a pump in DeFi season like a few years ago. And ever since then, it's a pile of steaming shit. Why the hell would you say that? Like, come on. So this is the worst. What a fucking pile of crap this is. I forgot this crap even existed. The Metaverse X cum rocket. Roger, you should contact Elrond, formerly Elrond, and offer to be their brand consultant. Honestly, that's brilliant. So yeah, I'm expecting a lot more turmoil in the markets. You know, we're bending into a recession now. You can see that. You know, there's every one of these grey shaded bits is a recession, and you just need that one to appear here. I see it almost an impossibility it doesn't appear here. Like, every metric is signaling recession. Like, there's screaming fucking signals every day. More signals. There's going to be a recession. There's going to be economic, you know, depression. Mate, I don't understand why people think that we are... I mean, we are at the end timeline, near the end timeline-wise, surely. Like, as far as dates are concerned, like we are getting closer. We're comparatively closer than we were last year. Having said that, there's still... Maybe the worst is still to come. Because I'm still seeing a 15k or less Bitcoin. I'm still seeing it. And if we see a 15k or less Bitcoin, what has happened to cause that? Has Binance gone down? Has Binance Smart Chain gone down? Has Tether gone down? I mean, already BUSD, if you've seen... I don't know if that will bring it up. There we are. So Binance is going to end support for BUSD stablecoin. Oh, fuck off. It's going to end support for BUSD stablecoin, and they're actively encouraging people to leave BUSD. Right? So already it seems like something's brewing. Something's brewing. And I do think that Binance is the final victim, but we'll have to wait and see. And I think that in being the final victim, so what I foresee is a series of events, which is recession, that causes huge depression, coins plummeting, no ability for an exchange to make much money, and the SEC essentially wanting to get Binance out of the game. Because most of the partnerships for custody is for Coinbase, and Binance shits all over Coinbase for volume. So the people who are applying for ETFs, they are going to want for Coinbase to be the major player. They're going to be like almost like being their pal and who they've got as friends. They're like, oh, we'll get rid of your enemy for you. I just see Binance as the final victim. And not necessarily Tether, but I do see Binance as the final victim. So buying now, it's okay to have a little piece here and there. I mean, I track all of the major wallets belonging to influencers, and I can tell you this: they bought yonks ago, and they bought like 10,000, 30,000, 100,000 of a cryptocurrency, like ages ago, like over a year ago, and some like some during the January to February bull market, they were buying into that. What? That's what they were doing. None of the major influencers that I track the wallets of, which is most of them, none of them have bought in these lows. Some do still have stablecoin allowances, so there's still some that have got a lot of stablecoins to deploy, and I don't know if they're just waiting, or if they just prematurely ejaculated and they just kind of couldn't fucking wait. I mean, they're all perma bulls anyway, so I'm not really surprised that they all just jumped into coins, like jumped into Ethereum when it was like 3k, jumped into Near when it was like $5, jumped into Hex when it was like 15 cents. Like, A lot of these guys have just made the worst moves. So, in comparison, if you DCA today, you are essentially beating the people that are telling you how you should invest. The people who have so many subscribers, they've got subscribers galore, people look up to them. Those are the people you are better than buying today versus when they bought, which was ages ago. I know a very, very, well, I would call him a bright YouTuber. And he prematurely ejaculated on Arbitrum. Like, bought it at like 150 or something like that. And bought 6 figures. Anyway, but there we are. So, you want to squeeze out as many multipliers as possible. And knowing what's in the future, which is, it's not good. It's not looking good. Right? It's not looking rosy anytime soon. I mean, the only time it will start to look rosy is when an ETF is applied for, and that's not happening yet. The financial turmoil has to happen. So just think, so much has to happen yet, and these influencers bought a long time ago. So you're doing better than them, but you are needing to squeeze out every little bit. So just don't buy too much. Don't go all in. If you're in my DCA group, you will see. I said 2 months ago I was following a wallet, somebody who bought Pulse Chain and Pulse X. When it came out, they essentially doubled down on their sacrifice and bought 100k worth of Pulse Chain, and they'd already spent 100k in the sacrifice, and that is now worth like $50,000 or something. And they did the same with Pulse Chain, and they've turned 200k into $27,000. So they doubled down way too quick. And if you look, I said 2 months ago, I said I'm looking forward to buying as much as this person at a 10th of the price, or a 5th of the price, and hopefully a 10th of the price. And I've basically got it already, if I wanted to, but I'm not. I'm going to wait till it goes down further. But that's just showing you why it's important to just little bits. But what I've noticed is, I bought some in May last year, for instance. I bought some, I DCA'd a little bit in May last year. And let's say, for instance, I bought $200 worth in May last year. In my wallet, that's about $10. No, not $10. It's about like whatever was $200 last year, whatever I paid $200 for, is probably now worth about $60. So I made a mistake. So if you buy small, you realize small losses. But if the market was to do a U-turn for whatever reason, because the market isn't meant to be readable, so in essence, I shouldn't be able to read it. But if the market does do a U-turn, you don't want to have not bought anything. But you don't want to go in too early, otherwise you will miss all that heavenly glory. There we are. Right, let me answer some questions before I bugger off, basically. I was going to say something else. Oh, what? Oh, no. Oh, 3 hours again. Fucking hell. I can't avoid it, can I? No wonder I never get any subscribers. Like, my last video got 19,000 views, but I got hardly any subscribers. Why? Because nobody likes long videos. Man, I need to stop this. Right, okay. Anyway, let me just answer some questions before I bugger off. BitBoy was buying algo at 30 cents. Yeah, exactly. Will Voyager token pump against Suppo? I don't know. I doubt it. I don't think so. Suppo, will the RWA narrative be relevant in the next bull market? I have already explained in the Relio network review why I think that there's problems with that. Binance Mirror Protocol, Convergence Finance, they all came up against regulatory problems trying to implement real world assets. So, basically trying to create a replica for price action. So like replica Tesla, replica gold, blah, 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 replica houses, whatever. Anything that's a security. Because these are securities, essentially. Even houses. So tokenizing real world assets is very much, it will fall under the SEC will have something to say. They tackled Binance when it came to real world assets, and that's what fucked up Convergence. Convergence could have been a mega hit if there wasn't regulatory problems, but they had to pivot into being a launchpad. So real world assets, yes, it could be a narrative, but I don't know how it can at the same time. 5k into Zen realistic returns depends on the price point. Depends on the price point. Like, I know a whale in Zen who bought it at the price not at the price it is now, but roughly this price. And they turned $15,000 into $200,000 in March, I want to say, in Zen. When Zen went from this price roughly to 509, he got to 200k from 15k, and then never sold it. Zen's come all the way back down. He's back with the money he put in. So if you put 5k in today and it goes down 5x, you're now at 1k. So long term, yeah, it'll probably be fine. But if you want to optimize your performance, you have to wait and let Zen continue to mint its way to a very, very low token price. But if we go back and have a look at Hex, I don't understand Hex. I need to do my own research. So look, so Hex was, when I first knew of Hex, it was 4 zeros. Look, 4 zeros, 9. And, you know, if you bought, let's say, well, if you bought 207, that's so much higher than 4 zeros, 9. But look at the profit you made here. So if you buy today, yes, your money will definitely go down in the short term or in the midterm. But over time, when the minting stops, eventually we'll get back to the price that you bought it at and over. So really, my strategy is to wait until we get to this kind of situation where we are at a real bottom. There's lots more. There's more zeros. You know, we're still nowhere near the bull market. People are still minting Zen. That's the point. I want to just inch in. And then in the end, you know, I'll catch the bottom. And then just be able to ride it up to the top, really. Zen has got lots of adoption from retail investors. Okay, there'll be lots of retail investors that have set up multiple wallets. So there'll be overlap. It's not all the unique users. But there are so many individuals that are in Zen and know of Zen because they minted it. It's in their wallet. They've got an emotional tie to it. It stands out from everything else because they have Zen. They don't necessarily have like whatever else they want to acquire in the bear market. So there's a lot of individuals that will be marketing Zen when the time arrives. And then, you know, then all the influencers will be talking about Zen. Like at this point, the only people that talk about Zen is me, Jerry, and Joe. As far as like popularized YouTubers, me and Joe. And no one else does. I've not heard any of the big channels ever mention Zen. And like with Hex, they'll mention it at the end when it's already made the money. So I'm spotting Zen as an early opportunity that eventually will make bank because it's the same as Hex. It's essentially the same as Hex. You are buying into a simple DeFi certificate of deposit cryptocurrency. You're just staking, and there's no fixed time limit like there is with there's no like 15-year lockups with Zen. So it's actually even more simple, but you don't get as much maybe. But I think eventually this will make big bang. It will never. I don't think it will ever hit its all-time high. It can't. I don't think feasibly it can. It hit its all-time high when there was hardly any minted. You know, it was like a small little amount of minters at the time. If it ever went to that all-time high, which it'll never do, even with the greatest circumstances, it will never do a 5.8 million X. If it does, though, I mean, if Jack does a genius move and basically does a real big burning incentive with Zen somehow, I think that is going to happen anyway, because there is Phoenix, there's X1, and they are going to be incentives to burn Zen to get those tokens. And there'll probably be more projects in the future with Zen anyway, just like with what Richard Hart did with Pulse Chain, PulseX, and other projects in the future. There will be burning incentives. People will be encouraged to burn to get a certain amount of this or that. And then the people who still hold Zen, who don't burn, will just be able to see the price appreciate. That's my tactic anyway with Zen. That's how it should work out. So I'm hopeful that that does happen. Super, hire me to do the timestamps. You mentioned Caduceus as a 1000x defend play in the past, and the price has come down considerably since then. Do you have a bag yet, or are you waiting for a certain price? I haven't got in yet. I'll probably, when it comes to the bottom, well, let's say a COVID-esque event happened where everything just kind of crashed and burnt for one day. What happened back in March, essentially, of 2020. If this happened, I would just, let's say recession is announced or whatever, and the market's just shit the bed. I won't care if it's a bottom yet. I'm just going to buy a load at that point, and probably just pick a load. Put 100 here, 100 there on just some speculative ones. Caduceus may be one of them. And then just, if it does well, it does well. If it doesn't, fuck it, I've lost $100. Who cares? That's probably what I'll do. Because I am pretty tight. I've got a lot in stable coins. Like, I counted it up, and I've got a lot in stable coins. Probably more than I can, well, not more than I can spend, but more than I've allocated, to these. What the hell is this holder value shit? Oh, yeah, it's allocations. This is the one. So, yeah, I'll probably just throw... I'd rather the money was in crypto than buying some shit in a shop. I'd rather just spend $100 on some coin and hope it does well than, buy a pair of jeans or a hoodie or something. Yeah. Anyway. COVID-2. Oh, yes. And that's another thing. I'm not sure how much that is actually a threat. Let me just have a quick look. Can we get to 500 likes? We're on 498. Can two people press the like and then say if you were the 500th? June. Let's come down. What? In June 2023, COVID 2.0 warning. Another pandemic is an inevitability. Expert claims. Oh, wow. We got 517. Who was that? Who was the one? Pankaj was 499th. And there's a load that was 505. I love it. You guys are great. Fearful of COVID 2.0? I don't know. This is what I mean when I think things are going to get much worse before they get better. There's so many things that's in the pocket. So many things in the pocket. There was that monkey virus, whatever it was called. Monkey... What was it? I can't remember what it was called. Monkey something. COVID 2.0. China versus Taiwan. Recession. Tether going down, Binance going down. Oh, God. Like, it could be all of them, or it could be none of them that actually hit crypto. And that is what I think needs to happen. Like, I think that there needs to be that sentiment. It's certainly not there now. There needs to be that sentiment where it's like, Crypto's dead. Crypto's a scam. I hate crypto. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm leaving. That's it. I'm finished. That is what we need to see, and that we haven't seen yet. We're not at that despair stage. And I think that a load of really horrible narratives could fuck us. just to put it out there are a number of different narratives which all could have damage, and if you use them all, fuck, we literally will be despair, and we will be at like $10,000, $9,000 Bitcoin. And I think that is a real possibility. By the way, the cryptocurrency that I spoke to you about in the last stream, is it twitter.com or is it x.com now? I don't even fucking know. Profit bots. This is going to have a stealth launch. So they were going to launch it last week, but basically there were a load of people looking to snipe this, and they didn't think it was fair on all the people that were looking to buy this. They didn't want bots to just make the price rip and then people would be pissed off at them. So what they've decided to do is push it back until next week. And they've addressed a load of the FUD that came from certain entities. I love the look of it. There we are, this is the one. The based ape, he's the one that did the FUD or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I don't look at this as a long-term opportunity. I just look at this as a way of being able to capitalize on this Telegram bot thing. And at the same time, if you look at the AI-generated images of the gains they've made on like sniping a new project, like it looks like it's got a fantastic utility. I never got Telegram bots, but basically what it is it kind of auto reads new contract, so new coins that have been created on certain chains, and it will be able to identify algorithmically somehow, formulaically, that something is getting adoption. And then it will be able, and then it will snipe it, it will buy it, and then it will sell it. And then typically the profit will be massive. So it looks good. I want to personally test out bots. I've never really tested out bots before. This is one thing that they did. Pepe 2, they got 219x. That can't be right. There we are, look, created 15 minutes and 0 seconds ago. Market cap 1,773. Verified, yes, honeypot could not detect. Small liquidity, and yet made 200... so they got in at this price, 40112, and sold at 002. Wow. Now the guy who posted that this is bullshit, show us proof, is that guy here, this Mr. Based Ape, the Based Ape. Because he doesn't believe that's true. Because to be honest, even in my opinion, that sounds way too good to be true. Can you imagine that? You deploy a fucking bot, and it just makes a 200x for you. You can retire in one trade. It doesn't make sense. It can't surely be the case. But there we are. I think that is what. I'm super curious. You know, because like anybody in crypto, I've got a lot of greed. Just waiting, trying to get as much as I can for as little as I can, essentially. Right, anything else? Yeah, choke point 2.0, yeah. All of that stuff. Monkeypox, that's it. Monkeypox, COVID, Binance collapse, recession. There's so many things. So many things. And I'm just very cynical. Just because I've been around. I'm cynical about the shenanigans of the whales. They think about it. Why would... And I know people say, oh, BlackRock have already bought a load of Bitcoin. Yeah, so what? There's millions of supply. Right? They don't own as much as they want. Why would BlackRock buy Bitcoin at 25k? Why? When your average nobody retail investor would have got in at 15k at FTX. Why would they buy at double the price? They won't. They will bring that price right back to a price that's unimaginably low. Not like too low, because that'll kill the market. But low enough that they're going to make an enormous return on investment in their first performance, in their first period of performance as an ETF. And they're not going to make that much on Bitcoin at 25k. Bitcoin isn't going to exceed 250k the next bull market. It's not going to exceed 250k. Right? So it's a 10x. That's shit. Now, from 10,000, that's a 25x. That's better. On a major asset, that's better. And people will love them for it. They'll be like, oh yeah, I've definitely got to be in. I've got to be in on the next. I've got to definitely buy ETF Bitcoin during the next bear market, so I get the same. It's going to be an advertising ploy for the ETFs. The ETF bodies, they're going to want to get the cheapest Bitcoin, the cheapest Ethereum, and the only way to do that is by propping up the market and making people believe that the worst is over. People buy it up and then they crush the motherfuckers like cannon fodder. They just completely crush them, and everybody is so crestfallen and taken to the edge of their tolerance. They sell, and that's where they swoop in. And the people that have given up, they come back in at the top. So that's why you've got to just keep an eye, have one eye open. Just have one eye open for the cynical, most worst case scenario, because that means you're not going to blow a load too early. Although that's never too bad. I don't mind that. Anyway, that was probably quite loud. Right, I'm going to make a move now because it's now 1 a.m. here. And I've been on now 3 hours 20, so that is not good. So I want to say bye to all of you guys. So if you can just say goodbye. 528 likes. Thank you very much, peeps. Which network is best for, apart from BSC and ETH, store my stablecoin? I'd just say ETH, to be honest. ETH is the most robust. Will Dag be the next Casper? No. Dag's shit. If you mean Constellation, then yeah. Shit. Right. Burkan, Baz, Glimmerdan, Shiraz, Starforge, Christy, TCM, Roshan, Stefan, Hurricane Hicks, Oleg, Markeen Hose, NC Bims, Billy, Danny, Wanye, Lindsay, Tommy, Shiraz, Gonzalo, Pankaj, Orel, Ellie, Canna Startup, Matt, Zenoble, Zim, Welperian Music, Thought Station. I love that name. Dano, Urban Watcher, Nicholas, Del May 5, John Singer, NRG Tube, Ybot, Ed Riob, Safa, Patrick. Patrick, you're still here. Excellent. Sandy, Kareen, Arjun, Zamir, Agent Hex, Chinta, Sergeant Priest, Mbata Virus. Thank you guys for turning up and being here. Most of you have been here since the beginning. Most of you have been here since the beginning. So I appreciate you all for turning up, being here. Justin Squires, I will put in a new code at the end of this stream so that you're able to purchase the... able to purchase it. All right, people. Love you lots. You're amazing. You're great. And I will see you of the next time. Make sure you join. Next time we got the high risk ones. Till next time, peeps, it is lights out, all out.